Welcome to Shardcast, the Brandon Sanderson podcast. We're a bunch of mega fans giving you the news discussion and, of course, a whole lot of opinions about Brandon's works and the Cosmere. I am Eric, and joining me is Ian. How's it going?
Hey, I'm your writer, and I was just caught off guard by the stream starting with ads, and I'm like, I was not prepared for that.
Yeah.
Hello. It's the state of Sanderson. It's that time of year again.
It is. Also joining us with bells, as always. The chat loves it. The comments love it. Is Evgeni. What's up?
Happy head munching day! Go munch a head. Go munch a kolos. Go munch a kolos head. For happy for KM KH MD. Hi, I'm Argent.
Hi. Also joining us is Ian. How's it going?
Hi, I'm Ian. It's going. We're sure here. We're streaming. Yeah, we're here now.
We're streaming, and also because we are not recording this at a normal Shardcast time, we can have our other new staff member. You've met number one Town Fan and Adam on some other episodes, but you've not met Bonnie. Hi, welcome to the show. Oh, you are muted.
I am ready.
Oh,
That worked excellently.
why don't you do that again? Because that did not work at all. Actually,
That's okay. We'll fix it in post.
no, we will not fix it in post because it's a stream. Hi, welcome to the show. You're Bonnie.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yes. Hi.
Hi, I'm Cosmeregirl.
Hey, there we go. Yay, we
There
did
we
it.
are.
Yeah, we're doing it live. We're doing it live.
Also, I do need to point out you refer to the other two staff members as number one Taln fan and Adam,
You know,
rather than Will and Adam or
we
Taln
are late
fan
here,
and Axe.
and I
Hey.
never said I'm consistent. Okay, I wasn't prepped to talk about them. All right, it just happened. I'm not an improv show. Okay. Anyway, I'm Chaos. We are going to talk about State of the Sanderson 2024. It is so hot off the presses that we need to delay the stream twice. The second time because we hadn't finished reading it. That's true. Cool. So yeah, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna talk about some of our Dragonsteel Nexus 2024 thoughts later, and there are not going to be Wind and Truth spoilers in this episode. So if you haven't finished Wind and Truth, cool, that's fine. Please don't put Wind and Truth spoilers in the chat. We will ban you. No, we'll remove the post. Be nice. So yeah, and chat is here too. Hey chat, you guys can look at chat below. But yeah, State of the Sanderson, it came out later than it usually does.
A wee bit.
A little bit. Where should we start? Where should we start, guys?
Why don't we do a quick recap of Brandon's year.
Okay.
Mhm.
Stormlight 5 revisions. There's a pretty table.
Ooh, I love
Chart.
spreadsheets. Spreadsheets.
I was gonna say that it's interesting that it only goes to part 5.
Well,
But maybe it's just cut off.
I mean, probably because people don't want to scroll through a ton of spreadsheets.
Weirdos.
I know. I mean,
And
this
then-
would be the fandom who would be interested, admittedly. So.
The bit that I went, wait, what? And then I read it and I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. Emperor Soul screenplay.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Also, one of my bells fell.
Oh no, not your
Which,
bells.
like, I guess, like, Emperor's Soul keeps coming back, and I guess Brandon wanted to give another shot at it compared to the previous attempt that was like a globe-trotting adventure
He
with
did talk
a ship
about that.
captain.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Like, Brandon's not a script writer, so
Well,
I'd be curious to read it. But
yeah, I totally know how to evaluate screenplays on their own. I don't at all in any way. But
that's a thing that he spent 2 weeks on. So make of that what you will.
yeah,
What I am excited is the Girl Who Looked Up /
Yes.
kind of Hoyd storybook collection thing, which is kind of it's something that Brandon has talked about for a while. Like it's the Hoyd picture book, putting in like The Girl Who Looked Up, The Dog and the Dragon,
Fleet, Darethil, and the Wander Sail.
maybe Fleet,
Yep.
maybe Darethil. Yeah, like
Yep.
these things. So no like real progress other than this is something that Brandon wants to do, and I am excited for the potential Kickstarter / backer kit in 2026, I believe is what it said.
Yes.
Sure,
Crowdfunding
yes.
in
This makes it-
2026, it looks like.
Yeah.
This state of Sanderson this year makes it like seem more like something they are like actively working on now, as opposed to like an idea that was percolating before.
Yeah.
Like they're like, okay, we've got official names for it and stuff, and plans on when to do things, and things are actually actively being worked on, and all that. So that's kind of progress.
I like it.
Yeah, I do find it like if 2026 is the Hoyt storybook collection, and Brandon only wants to do like one book crowdfunder per year, that means we're not going to get Oathbringer leatherbounds until 2027.
Except we are getting Lost Metal next year, so I think
It's
the schedule
wild.
is a little whatever.
It's wild.
Well, like setting
Well, that
aside the
one- that's
leatherbound,
better Kickstarter, though.
like because that's not a Kickstarter.
Yeah. It's just the leatherbound schedule's weird. In other
Yeah,
words,
I'm more talking about crowdfunder campaign
Sure.
schedules.
sure.
I don't care about the other leatherbounds.
Yep.
Like in terms of this conversation.
Yeah. Then Emberdark revisions. So Emberdark revisions is there. Peter later was saying how Emberdark's going to press in January. So for fulfillment middle of this year, right? Or not
Fall.
this year.
Fall.
Not this year. Next year. What
Fall,
you know what
fall
I'm saying.
25.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then a tour release of Emberdark will be in 2026, which I'm still uncomfortable saying that year for sure. So,
But that's Thor's presumably going to be like, what were the other secret projects, like 6 months offset?
yeah,
from
something
their-
like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Cool.
And then Moment Zero is a thing.
Yeah.
And then White Pearls is a thing.
Oh, don't you guys want to talk about White Sand? I thought we wanted to talk about White
Excited
Sand
for
on
White
this show
Sand.
program.
Like
I am excited
David
for
was
that.
in chat earlier saying, I need to this Brandon, still a waste of time.
I
I
was
am
hoping
ready.
I was hoping to speed talk my way through these projects and
No. White Sand's
No.
the main thing I want to talk
White Sand.
Okay, so Moment Zero is the next year kind of capstone story.
Yes.
It's what the convention is going to be about.
Yes.
It's going to be about Tailored Realities, which is the non-Cosmere anthology.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's there. White Sand.
White Sand.
Brandon apparently wants to make sorry, I got distracted by Gray bullying me in chat.
Good.
White Sand. So Brandon wants to make the novelization of White Sand be like similar and consistent with the graphic novel, so that both are kind of the same canon, right?
Yeah, I don't know why we're doing it if that's the case. I'll be honest. That's
It's like Eric. That's the
Same
bare
color.
minimum. Like, if Brandon had rewritten it and like not kept to same continuity, I would explode in rage. Like, it's stupid that he's doing this in the first place, but like, at least like trying to like making an attempt to share continuity with the graphic novel, bare minimum.
Okay, so I hear what you're saying, and unfortunately, what you're saying is wrong. The problem is the existing White Sand continuity, all three of them, are bad. White Sand is just not a good story. Like,
it's
why-
mid. It is mid at
It's a
best.
good story.
sure, it's a mid. Why are you going to write a fourth iteration of a mid story just to keep up with like 2000 Brandon story ideas and canon ideas, instead of like sitting down and writing something that's like good.
I would rather he just write something new that's good.
Yeah.
Like, we've already had 3 versions of this story. Like, I don't like, and like, hey, I actually kind of like White Sand. Like, the story works for me. So, like, is it great? No. Should this have ever been a graphic novel? Also, no.
No,
But
it shouldn't. It shouldn't.
Brandon
Okay.
made a decision, and he needs to stick to it. Otherwise,
So-
what's the point?
Bonnie, go.
So I am excited for this because it's a different format. Because you have the graphic novel, which is going to be very visual. It's going to cover different things. You can't cover the internal perspectives and everything as well as you can in a prose format. So I think it's going to be a very interesting look at the story from a different perspective.
Yes. Like,
I'm looking
yes,
forward to
White
it.
Sand should have always been prose. And, like, yes, I would like the internal dialogues for the version of the story we have. And the fact that he was ever considering writing completely new stuff and not trying to make it match the graphic novel is insane and bad.
Ian, what do you think? White Sand. Have you
The
done a
gift that
white?
keeps on giving.
Look, for this
At this
show,
point,
it
I'm
does.
just like, at this point, I'm just extremely amused hearing everyone else's takes on it. I'm like, I'm so over White Sands, but I also don't have the energy or emotions to like have big emotions about White Sand. I'm just like, at this point, it's just fun to watch the fandom, and I don't really give a crap about the actual book.
I am always ready to talk about White Sand. I've been ready since 2016 or whenever we did our first White Sand episode. I think White Sand is mid, and I think with a good revision, I don't know if it just being in line with the continuity of the graphic novel is sufficient to make it good. It will
Yeah.
be prose, guys. It'll be there for sure.
Yeah. But like
I think
not
it all
doing
comes-
that is just like telling everybody who bought any version of the graphic novel, you wasted your money.
Well, as soon as he did the
That's
prose, that he
fair.
said that.
But,
yes.
I think it all comes down to how it translates over to prose.
I mean, I'm sure it will be, okay.
Wow. We're so thrilled, guys. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming by,
Hey.
chat. We're Staff Civil War. We're gonna, yeah,
So
This is
I have
what we're here
a
for.
yes.
I have a topical show and tell,
Okay.
because the best thing to come out of White Sand was obviously Chris, right? And
Yes.
the second best thing was Bayon.
yeah,
and,
yeah.
when
Kenton's
I was
way
at-
low
The
on the
third
list.
best was the
Kenton
boombox.
Kenton doesn't rank on the best
sorry.
list.
Number 1 is Boombox. Ian's right. Boombox
Well,
is
but-
top of the list.
But Boombox is
That got
gone, so-
retconned. I don't want the continuity without the Boombox. Good sir.
Um, hey, maybe it will come back.
Let's hope.
So at Nexus, I one of the things that I love to do at conventions is to hang out with my artist friends, because my artist friends are great.
Yes.
And one of the things that my artist friends do is sometimes they give me things because I hang out with them and I tell them how great they are.
Please let it be green so it doesn't work on screen at all.
I've been looking at it and there's very little green on
Okay,
it.
perfect. Hit us.
So here is something that I got from Lamary. And it has Chris in it.
That's hot. Oh, that's good. Oh, I mean, everything she does is really
So
good.
Jasna.
Mhm.
So that's just
Yeah.
Yasna and Chris having a little
fan.
study session,
Yeah.
because everyone loves a good study session.
Mm. Yes.
Just roommates.
Yeah, just totally platonic roommates. Yes,
Just
They are
study
the
partners,
best
you know?
Of
The most platonic
roommates.
of study partners.
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
I am a little bothered that Chris is like with a book in like a bath, I think that will.
You just gotta be efficient, you know.
I just worry about the
I thought you were about to say
damage,
sometimes
like
it's gotta be a fish.
the
Yeah.
the pages, they can get moist. And we don't
It's
want
clearly a book from a scholar she doesn't actually like, and she's just reading it to Yasuna so they can both laugh at it. So she doesn't actually care about the
Okay.
long-term
Okay.
status.
It's one of those
the book.
romances.
Yeah.
We're both bringing.
Those
No,
headcanons.
it's a scholarly work
Okay.
by another arcanist.
Okay.
So we'll save the other show and tell for later, but
Cool.
I wanted to do that because it was Chris.
Cool. Do we want to go to December and move past White Sand? Do we have other White Sand thoughts?
I mean, we can use this as an opportunity to talk about Nexus because that's December.
Well, I think we have like more extent.
No.
Well, let's do full Nexus thoughts when we're done with the blog post, so then we know how much time we have.
Okay, sure.
State of the Sanderson complete.
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
All right.
But
all right.
Nexus was in December, and we'll talk about it a bit later. It makes sense that it took a lot out of Brandon because it was a lot for sure, and I'm sure Brandon was just chauffeured between interview to interview, so that makes a lot of sense. Woo! We have a super chat. I support Yaz Chris writes, and Yaz Chris wrongs. Thank you,
That's
Everett.
true. Yes,
I approve as well.
It is vitally important to support women's plural rights and wrongs.
Great. Cool. So that's Brandon's year. That was not much that we didn't know, I would say. Like the White Sand tidbit was good, right? Like I would
mean,
rather know what it is, right?
Yes,
You know?
yes. This was useful information.
Yes.
I was gonna say there was a bunch we didn't know. Like we didn't know about the screenplay or that he worked on the picture book specifically.
Sure.
Yeah, but ultimately
like,
the
oh, it was
screenplay is irrelevant, right? It's just
Yeah, it's
something
kind
that
I mean,
there's
It wasn't necessarily awesome new stuff, but it's stuff we didn't know.
Hey, I said it was new. I didn't say it was good. True.
fair.
We know
Fair.
it's written and it's artsy.
Yeah.
It was a surprise.
That's good.
All right.
Now
Primary
what?
projects.
Projects.
Woo!
Stormlight on ice.
Well, I mean, planned ice. Planned ice.
Land ice.
It's always the plan. But honestly, all things considered, when we look to the schedule, Stormlight is actually not that far away. All things considered, like surprisingly not that far away. We will have plenty to talk about, guys.
I was telling the rest of the cast before the show about how at the end of the blog, Brandon's like, so here is my outline for the next several years. And that means that Stormlight moves. So the next Stormlight books normally come one every 3 years. Stormlight 6 is going to come in 6 years instead of 3 years. So that is like just skipping a Stormlight book. Whereas in
7 now, it's 2031. The old schedule.
I think Brandon says 6 years in the text, but it's actually 7 years according to.
Yeah,
the
but 2024 is over. Another
Okay,
one of my
fine.
Okay.
Still
Fine.
7 years.
I'll allow
That
it.
is a valid point.
Fine. Let's do math on the show. I think people will appreciate that. Actually,
There's an Excel sheet for that.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
It's true.
it's in the blog.
You'll make
Hey
it.
Eric, would it mess up your would it mess up the video if I just left as soon as you guys started doing math?
Yes, absolutely. Please don't do that. If
Okay,
you
don't
leave,
do math then.
Please just leave the camera on and then leave. Just leave.
Yeah,
the
you
room.
can just walk away.
Yeah. That's fine.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
just,
that
Start
takes away
shouting
the
when we
threat
finish
of
up.
don't do math.
yeah. Well, we're done with math, I think.
Yeah.
So
But yeah,
Okay.
so that's just like, oh, we are just skipping a Stormlight book. Whereas in my head, it's been like, oh, we're gonna wait a decade or whatever,
Yeah.
which is not that bad.
I
Honestly, I hope it takes him longer because that seems like such a short time to be taking a break.
Well, we'll see.
well, Brandon works on Brandon's timeline, and that timeline is fast.
True.
Fast. But then we get Ghost Bloods.
True.
Ghost Bloods.
Mhm.
Mistborn Ghostbloods.
Hell
Era
yeah.
3.
50 years or so after the end of Era 2, so not that long in world. And he says this series will mark the return of some familiar, somewhat spike-filled characters from Era 1, along with some new characters. Hell yeah. And
Who could
it's
those
about the
be?
Ghostbloods, so yeah.
Yeah. Basically, all but one characters from Era 1 that are still alive have spikes.
True.
So,
True. Yes. One notable exception. Yes.
Very notable.
Extremely notable.
And I think later in the blog, it said that these are planned to be about 200,000 words each.
Era 1 sized. Good.
We'll see.
I mean, like, Era 1 varied. Like, Final Empire was 200. Well of Ascension was 250. So, like, there was variance. I think Hero of Ages was, like, 230, if I remember. Something like that. It's between the two. So, the important thing is not Stormlight size. It's not 400.
The length of a Wax and Wayne book.
No. Wax and Wayne, the
No.
longest one was 150. So, so actually longer than Wax and Wayne books.
Era 1 sized.
Yep. So I'm excited. He said he's been planning since 2006. So that's pretty cool. I think it will be very cool to see an era that was planned. Rather than maybe some unplanned books that I think are very fun, but you know, the series took a long time.
well, it's more him having time to write it all straight through.
That will also
'Cause
be very helpful. Yeah,
If he had written Era 2 straight through, I think it would have been a lot better.
that is
Yes.
very true.
Yes.
Very true.
Because, like, Shadows of Self and Bands of Morning written back to back, they're great. It's just like not.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can listen to our many episodes on those. If you want Lost Metal content, we got it 2 years ago. That's what you all want to listen to right now, I'm sure.
Who cares?
Cool. Cideverse. We have the first of the sequel series of Cideverse.
Let's go to Ian for this one. Ian,
Yeah.
what's up?
Yeah. Tell us about Cideverse.
You've been knocking on people's doors and talking to them about the Cideverse, which is really concerning when it happens at 4 a.m. and we live multiple time zones apart.
Have you heard of our
But-
Lord and Savior?
Jesse Patterson.
I'm really not even sure how I got to Chicago, to be completely honest. I just kind of.
I
woke up
am
and
not
was
sure
there,
either.
considering I can't drive. So,
I mean, presumably Cytonics.
possibly that would be
So-
a surprise to me.
What's going on
So
there?
anyway,
Yes.
it's a book. Chansey's writing books.
Yes.
Brandon was saying, like, his weekly updates that he thought she had to, like, finish her last draft. That's I don't believe the case. It's still in progress.
Yes.
It's a book, and I think it's gonna be awesome, and people are gonna love it. And there's going to be 3 of them, but she is going to be writing the second one in the next while or so, next 6 months or so. While the first one goes through revisions, and Brandon thinks that they vibe really well as co-authors. And they've done brainstorming sessions, and they're going to be doing some more meetings, talking over things for the next book. And it's probably going to come out the first one's probably going to come out in 2026.
Cool.
The first one being Blightfall.
Yep.
Which is a little later than I think he estimated last year,
It was.
but makes sense with timelines and how things have been going, and so that's cool and
Yeah.
awesome and nice.
Hell yeah.
I'm very excited to read that book whenever it comes out.
Yeah. I love the Skyward Flight novellas, and I'm thrilled to read what Jancy's cooking up. And
I'm also very excited for you guys to read this book.
oh, okay.
Nice.
Well,
And-
yeah.
Wasn't there a bit somewhere, I don't see it in this section, so it must have been later on, about them maybe having a better name for Skyward Legacy than Skyward Legacy.
Brandon says Jancy maybe has a better name for the series than Skyward Legacy.
Okay.
This is the first I'm hearing of that.
Well,
Yes,
I would say
same.
Skyward Legacy is not a good name for.
Yes.
I think it is kind of bad.
I don't think it's
I think
terrible.
It's a fine name.
Pretty good name.
I think
it's
maybe
like-
there is concern about like tying it with Skyward a little too much. Like if they want Legacy to be a standalone or a more standalone thing.
I can see that.
Yeah. I think that's probably the biggest worry is they want people to be able to pick up at the start of the first book and just like feel like they haven't missed things.
Exactly.
But it's a sequel series. Of course you're gonna miss things if you
You know, marketing's weird.
Well, is it though?
And marketing and
I don't know.
Yes. It takes place after the original series and then it follows the same characters. It's a sequel series.
Yeah, but it doesn't need like The Lord of the Rings is not a sequel to The Hobbit.
No.
This is what you come here for, live reaction.
We don't need to have this fight right now.
Yeah,
we
we'll
will
do it on the stream.
We'll like when we do Blightfall episodes, we can talk about
Ian
that.
seems so perturbed.
Okay.
This is excellent. Very
So,
good.
table it.
Let's table
We've
it.
got secondary projects to
Cool.
talk about.
Yes.
Elantris is of secondary priority, so Ghostbloods is top prio, and then Elantris 2 and 3, which will wrap up that series.
Mhm.
Finally.
It is coming.
Yep.
You can return to the insane pronunciation rules. Yay.
Oh god.
I cannot wait for Elantris to have changed the language
That'd
just
be good.
on a whim.
That'd be good. That's the kind of retconning I want in a sequel.
I don't think that at all plausible. So
I do say that
this does not
jokingly.
bother me.
He shouldn't do that. But
Yes.
anyway, cool. And yeah, so he's gonna do Elantris 2 along with Ghostbloods. So we get the 3 Ghostbloods book.
2 and 3.
2 and 3. Yep. So that will be wild to go back to that. But I think the schedule is alternating releases of Ghostbloods 1, Elantris 2, Ghostbloods 2, Elantris 3, Ghostbloods 3. So it'll go like that. So that'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun.
So
I have
editing
to
on
shout
the-
out.
Hmm?
I have to shout out Elantris 2 Fjordish Boogaloo in chat,
Yes, that's good.
which is
Amazing.
incredible.
Good.
Thank you, Maury.
Elantris is fine as a book. I'm just partial to it because
Yeah,
my name's an
yeah.
Aon.
Oh, I mean, that's what got me in the
That
fandom.
makes sense.
Yeah, no, I've said the story before, but when I read Elantris, it was the paperback and it had the preview to Mistborn, and I was so angry that it wasn't an Elantris sequel that I didn't even read the Mistborn one, and I put the book down until a few years later when Well of Ascension came out. Anyway,
I got to Mistborn eventually, but I
Yeah.
was the same way.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I even have a pin of my design for AonEne
Yeah.
that I had on my lanyard. That's in the room on the other side of this wall. I'm not going to go get it.
Perfect.
If I had been smart, I would have grabbed that.
It is wild that there are nearly 270 people here, given the crazy delays that I did on this. So thanks for coming, guys. That's so nice.
Let's talk to them about the Wheel of Time. That's what they're here for.
This is the Wheel of Time podcast now. It's not.
Truly.
I haven't read it. So sorry.
Yes, because the Wheel of Time is always behind me.
Yeah. So this was an announcement at Nexus. That was his big surprise announcement. What do you guys think of the Wheel of Time leatherbounds? Thoughts?
That's sure something that doesn't matter at all to me.
Yeah. I'm glad they exist. like Wheel of Time, like it's how I found Brandon. It holds a place near and dear my heart. I don't think I'm looking to purchase them at this point in time, but like Dragonsteel has this mechanism in-house to produce leatherbounds, and they're going to run out of books to make leatherbounds out of. And it makes sense to me for that time and effort to be spent on the Wheel of Time, which is also very near and dear to Brandon's heart. And I have faith that like he and his company are doing that the right way. Like they're like in collaboration with Tor Books and with Harriet, Robert Jordan's widow, and also the editor of the series. So I think it's going to be cool. I don't know if I'm going to buy them yet.
Yeah, I think I'm in a similar boat. I came to Brandon by way of the Wheel of Time. Right, I was in a way similar to how I am a diehard Cosmere fan. I was a Wheel of Time
Yes.
diehard
You
fan.
were.
But I've lost a lot of my love for the series just because it has been so long, and I think Dragonsteel's leatherbound editions are really like beautiful products, very well made, very thoughtfully crafted, a lot of incredible art. I love all the, because they're not just a book that is bound in leather, right? There's so much that goes on inside them that is valuable, and it's beautiful. So I am a little on the fence. Looking at the section in the blog, I think $175 to $200 for each one of these is gonna be a tall order for me, and I also worry that I would like if I buy one, I will want to buy all 14
That's
or
exactly the thing, right?
or
Yeah.
15, and like, do I want to spend like $2,000 to $3,000 on this thing? And the answer is probably not. Maybe if they ever did like holiday discounts or anything like that, like I would maybe do for 100. I would maybe pay $100. But that's
But like even Brandon's leatherbounds aren't $100 anymore.
Yeah.
Yes,
they're not.
That's also true. Yeah.
Like I own all the Wheel of Time books, but it's honestly kind of the same of like I could start Wheel of Time, but then I'm committed, and that seems like a lot of effort. And so it's kind of similar when you buy the first one. Are you gonna buy all of them? Like, yeah. I'm glad they exist though. That's great, right?
Yeah. I saw, I think it was Veronica made a comment like that are some mixed feelings on like hardcore fans about Brandon's involvement. And I'm kind of at a point where it's like I'd rather it be Brandon and rather than like some random person. Like
the thing is, I think if it's not Brandon, it's not gonna be anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it does sound like I know people were worried about how much Harriet's involvement might have been, and if it was just like a thumbs up and that's it. But it sounds like she's coordinating with them on at least some more details than that, and is somewhat more involved. So that's good.
Yeah, like I don't know if she's like going through the proofs and things. Maybe more at the broad sense, but hard to say.
I don't know that, but at the decision making level, I think because she's like let's not split them and things like that. But yeah, probably not like looking at everything individually herself. Maybe.
Yeah, I guess I believe Brandon will have Harriet as involved as she wants to be, as much or as little as that is.
Probably true.
Excited to see the artwork that comes out of this.
Yes.
The stuff that they shared was an immediate wave of nostalgia for me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I agree it's a tall order for all the books, but I'm excited to see the art that comes as a result of having the books.
I think the art is going to be amazing. I think the graphic design is going to be amazing. I am very I'm very happy for the artist, for Petr Penev. This is very much a love project for him. It's a dream project, and so I know that he will do everything in his power and more to
make it
make
spectacular.
the best. Yeah.
And I think that's what you want. You want the biggest passion for those, especially when it's so expensive, right? That's what you want. You want to be pretty wowed, oh wow, this is really gorgeous. And I will say, Dragonsteel's leatherbounds are absolutely gorgeous, no doubt about it. Right? The Words of Radiance looks great. Bands looks great. The art they commissioned, great. So, love all that. Cool. Let's move on. I love how we made an outline document and we're just scrolling through the main post. That's good. I like that. I like that a lot.
Well, yes.
Yeah. Well, if you haven't read the post either because it's too soon, well, we're scrolling through it too.
We're reading it right now.
We're reading it right now. Songs of the Dead. Peter Arulian is advocating for that book, and so it might be a 2026 book.
It is practically his book at this point. Songs of the Dead, if you haven't been following States of the Sanderson, or if you don't remember, is the formerly Death by Pizza story.
Long ago. So
long ago. There might not even be but this is like heavy metal and necromancy kind of meet cute. So
yeah.
I think it will be fun, even though it has become effectively a Peter Arulian story. I am excited to see it because the concept sounds fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. I don't know if we'll do an episode on it. We'll see. I don't know.
We'll see. But let's see the book first.
Let's see the book first.
Yeah.
White Sand, we talked about. Brandon's gonna try squeezing writing time in between other projects to work on this.
Oh yeah, I think we didn't mention it's not coming out next year. Just yeah. So he didn't finish it this year, so it absolutely can't come out. There's too much production time. So
I don't think he even started it this year, didn't he? He did pre-writing, and then did he even start writing it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No.
So no.
It was just pre-writing.
No.
100% on the pre-write.
Yep. And there's some other stuff we'll get to. Yeah.
Dark One. Brandon says he'll let Dan talk about. Dan says working on it.
Cool.
Still plugging away.
Plugging.
And this is the novelization of Dark One.
I do agree.
Novelization where they're diverging from the graphic novel canon.
Yes.
Don't do that, guys. It's
the graphic novel of Dark One is really good. It's such a shame.
Volume 2.
Why is there no?
Crow's preview chapter seemed fun. I liked it.
I don't know.
It was fun. I did like it. Yes.
Stop writing things. Just things that need sequels. Stop writing things. Yes.
Stop writing.
I don't want to do this show anymore. No. Just. Why are we doing things that need sequels and then not doing them? Like White Sand Prose. I want the White Sand sequel. I want the Dark One sequel. I don't. Anyway, whatever. It's fine. We don't need to get into it again.
Instead, we can get into Super Awesome Danger, which is quote unquote Secret Project 6 or Secret Project 0. Actually,
it's Secret Project 0.
Yeah. They changed the numbering.
Yeah.
It was the original 5th one.
Yes.
When he first announced them.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Which is kind of a children's story, illustrated thing. Isaac says a lot of projects were vying for his attention. They are making progress alongside Ben McSweeney and Haley Lazo. I'm actually not sure how to pronounce her name. Because I always call her Haley.
Art Zealot.
Yep. Yeah, that's great. It's going super awesome. That's great.
Dangerously so.
Yes. I'm pretty excited for the one line that he put about Warbreaker Arithmetist, because once he finishes Elantris, Warbreaker and Rhythmatus sequels are on the table. Hell yeah.
I will believe it when I see it.
Look, I just like him saying that Warbreaker sequel is happening, because like sometimes he waffles on this, so maybe there will be more waffling in the 2030s. Oh, I hate that.
Well, we
I'm
love
just
waffles.
excited for a Rhythmatus sequel because I love the Rhythmatus.
Rhythmatist is
It's really
great and such a
cool.
weird. It's so weird.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
So good.
It's so great.
Yeah.
Anyway, Reckoner's Alcatraz Legion done for now.
Yeah, cool.
We are
I was gonna say
getting
there might be another Reckoner's book, which is like I think for a little while now they've kind of like not been acknowledging Lux as much. So it's like, oh, there's still a possibility for more of that. Interesting.
Where's
Lux, which ended on massive like the story will continue story
The
beat.
thing.
Yeah, where's my ebook of Lux? Where is my Lux ebook?
well. Speaking of ebooks of
Hey!
audio originals,
Transitions.
Hey.
Big
The-
transition.
We're
the
professionals.
original audio exclusive,
The
audio
original?
the original.
It never gets
I
old.
it truly never gets old. Chat,
that make
does it
the,
ever get
ebook
old?
Not original.
Yeah, it's not
Oh.
original
that make
anymore.
the-
Well, but
ebook,
it's
not
gonna be
original.
it's gonna be the original ebook for the original though.
Oh, there you go.
The original
Um,
Prose edition.
Yeah, the original prose edition. Not to be confused with the 10th anniversary of the original.
Anyway, so that's the little story that Brandon and Mary Robinette Coe wrote together that came out a few years ago,
It's
and it's
fine.
now getting a text version,
Yes.
which I'm
That's
excited because
Good.
it's a neat little
Good.
story. I liked it.
Do we think it will make its way into Tailored Realities?
I think since it's coming out earlier that year, there's a decent chance that that'll be one of the things in there. But
Yeah,
also,
I
I'm
feel
not
like-
positive on it because it was
Not
co-authored,
Yeah.
and so I'm not sure.
I feel like they're missing an opportunity if they don't, because the story of the original Audible, the original fits like the theme of Tailored Realities
it does.
so well.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Does.
very
Good
good
point.
fit, actually.
Yes.
Although now that I think about it, a lot of Brandon's non-Cosmere stories are like funky reality bending, like
Mhm.
Moment Zero messes with reality.
I know nothing about
Legion
No, me
messes
either.
with reality.
Let's talk
It's the story where two cops explosion. One gets sent 3 days forward. The other one gets
time.
sent 3
It's
days
time
back.
stuff.
Oh, okay.
What if we do a
Um,
snapshot episode next December, Ian? Doesn't that sound fun?
Snapshot messes with reality. Perfect State messes with reality. Like all of Legion super messes with reality. Right.
You're peaking, Evgeni.
Um,
Tone it down.
I got too excited. I'm sorry. I always get so excited when I talk about
Yeah.
Legion.
Anyway, I just really want a Lux ebook because I haven't read it. It's too long for me to. I can't do audiobooks, guys. I'm sorry. I can't focus that long on audio. I'll just zone out. I'm glad for everyone who loves audio things, but I would love to read Lux because I know apparently we were a little hard on it, but you guys did like it on the episode that we did on Lux. I remember editing it, and that was my takeaway.
It was good. It needed more continuity editing with the other books.
I would like to correct that and say that it needed some continuity. It needed any continuity.
Yeah, that is correct.
Oh,
But like the bones of the story was very good. Like
sure.
Stephen Bowles did a good job.
I mean,
Like-
that you need you need continuity stuff when you're doing it. It's hard to do. That's fine. I will also say that you'll notice if you Control F mainframe, it's not on here, and I don't think it was last year either. So it's gone, guys. The mainframe is not a thing. Go back a few years ago. Mainframe, big thing.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
I subscribed to their YouTube channel.
Yeah, the YouTube channel. Okay, well,
It had like
Yeah.
100 subscribers or something.
wow. I can't imagine why.
They
But now
tried to do a thing.
I want to talk about the most exciting thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Well, I thought we already talked about Lightsap.
Sorry, the second most exciting.
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
big list of Cosmere books. So this is like Brandon's, not junk drawer. God damn it, my balls. Not but like the grab a bag of like random story ideas that he might want to do eventually, maybe, and is just, probably not, but it's interesting to peek into his head and see like what he wants to do.
But you're not peeking right now.
No. That's because I peaked already.
Okay.
Now I'm
It's all downhill for you. Let's do the list.
trophying.
Yeah.
The Night Brigade, which not Brandon, Dan later on says eventually.
I don't think he's writing Night Brigade. I think he is saying that it's possible he will write something about the Night Brigade. Not that Night Brigade is going to be Dan's thing.
Yes,
just to be
that
clear.
is correct. Although maybe.
No. I think the Night Brigade, the story, is Brandon's story, and then Dan also wants to write a thing about the Night Brigade, and they're not the same thing.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, cool horror-y thing. Give me.
Brandon? Give me.
Gib. Yep. Dragonsteel. The original, not the original. The new Dragonsteel. Which is going to be a trilogy that is currently planned for much later, right? So
After
we got to do Era
10,
3,
right?
Yeah, we gotta do a whole bunch of other stuff first.
Yeah.
Not surprising.
Yep.
A little surprising that it's not italicized in the blog, but
I don't know. Whatever. Don't worry about it.
The Silence Divine, I am surprised to see here, considering that as of a month ago, Nexus, Brandon was like, "Yeah, I'm probably not gonna do that."
Okay, well,
this is like his like wishy-washy. Like, here are things I would like to write, but I'm not promising them.
Yeah.
Someday.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's right.
But Silence Divine is, if you don't know, a story that takes place on Ashen, which is one of the planets in the Rosharan system. And the idea was there was going to be a magic system there that is like disease-based, where you incubate a disease, and for as long as you have that disease, you get magic powers.
But he didn't have a story.
You catch the common cold and you can fly.
Yes,
of course it's flying. Gotta have that.
That's because Brandon loves flying.
He does. But
I think it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I've had enough Windrunner books at this stage. I'm good, guys. The Grand Apparatus. That's a name for sure.
That
Brandon keeps mentioning it.
Yeah, he teased that
it.
Last Nexus, I believe, is when we heard that.
Yes.
He was like, "Oh, who said something about a future Cosmere story?"
Yeah. And then it appeared.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we know.
We know about it.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Mythos. Hey.
Another place name that Brandon has mentioned. This one, at least in the books. That we know nothing about.
That's true.
Mythos is mentioned with virtually no context in the Lost Metal.
Yes.
If you want to go check the Coppermind article for that.
Yeah.
This is the first time we hear about a book.
Yeah, that wasn't last year, right? This is new, right?
No, Mythos is new.
Cool. Interesting.
So
that's something for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe. It might be something. There's a story idea that might be.
It might be something.
There's the Aether World book series, which is like the main Aether planet, because there are multiple planets with Aethers in the Cosmere.
Yep.
But this is like the OG traditional version of the Aethers.
Nice. And then we have, what is this? Freefall 7-layer burrito world. This is in the Cosmere?
This is
This
the
is-
first we've heard. This is in the Cosmere. This is the first we've heard of it beyond being one of Brandon's bad story ideas from Intentionally Blank.
Yes.
This may be the most surprising thing in the state of Sanderson to me.
Yes.
I
the
love
fact
that
it's
it's included.
now. Yeah.
I don't mean
Um,
to interrupt, but Mythos was in State of the Sanderson 2023. Thanks, chat.
Okay.
Freefall 7-layer Burrito World is a bad story idea that Brandon had, in which you are literally like free falling through a world, like your city is in constant free fall, and the world that you are free falling through is composed of like layers. Like I guess an infinite number of layers, or maybe you just loop back around or something. And each layer represents a layer of a 7-layer burrito. And so as you are falling, you can like reach out and assemble a burrito from the environment.
I do
That could be
think
fun.
this will be dramatically changed when it gets written, because like the bad
Really?
story idea that became Sunlit Man was a giant rolling a boulder around
Yes.
a planet.
Yes.
So it's like,
It will be significantly Cosmerified.
yeah, it's like well, you'll be able to see Free Fall 7-layer Burrito World in whatever he writes,
Yes.
but it's not going to be about burritos.
I do think it might be like a perpetual free fall kind of world of some
Sure.
kind.
Yeah.
Sure. And then unnamed other Ashen book. Yeah.
Sure,
That's
man.
gonna be fun.
Sure.
This sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't remember if we've actually heard about it before.
I don't remember.
Nope, we have not.
These really blend
Okay,
together.
cool.
Guys. Yeah. They're
That's
I'll
a
believe
thing.
it when I see it.
Sure.
Yep. Cool. Wow. That's the main stuff. Let's talk about crowdfunding. There's not going to be a crowdfunding campaign next year. That's honestly great, because
Yes,
there has
thank
been kind
you,
of a
thank
lot
you.
of those.
Which
Oh my God.
I want to talk about this bit,
Hey.
because hey, if you go to covermind.net, is it .net?
It's
It
not
is
that.
It is
.net.
.net. Okay, there is an article that I fairly recently wrote,
Yeah.
listing all of the crowdfunding campaigns.
Uh-huh.
And yes, there were 2 in 2024. There were none in 2023.
Yeah, but they were kind of expensive this year. Kind of
Was the minifigures
Yes.
2022?
Miniatures was 2022, September 13th to October
Oh.
13th.
I don't like how time is. I'm not a fan of time.
Don't
I mean,
like
to be
time.
fair, 2023 was also the year of Sanderson. So like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so there was that.
Yeah. There was just no new crowdfunding campaigns, which like going through like and doing research on all of the different crowdfunding campaigns, we've come a long way since Mistborn Allomancy Dice in December 2014 that had a funding goal of $4,000.
Wow.
And total funding of $42,000.
Whoa.
To millions.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's also just dice, so But yeah, it's a little different now. But I'll just say my wallet appreciates having less to spend, especially because I'm
Mhm.
going to Nexus a lot, and so that's also expensive. Yeah. So I'm cool with that. I think we're gonna be just fine with Emberdark coming next year and Stormlight / Cosmere RPG stuff being fulfilled, right? We will be fulfilled, is what I'm saying.
You guys, I'm so excited for 2025 being just kind of a chill year for everyone.
Don't even say that, because you do
I'm
not know
not
what
going.
horrors are going to be unleashed, good sir. You have no idea. Brandon will be like, "Hey, here's what I got." Now
Here's
I'm gonna
a
have another
movie.
random string of numbers. 631 was stupid, guys. Hate it.
I do want to read a section from State of the Sanderson, which I find incredibly funny.
Okay.
Which is the idea that the moment that Brandon started the breaking records with his Kickstarters, a lot, and I mean a lot, of people turned their eyes towards us in an effort to get to you guys, the fans. You'd probably be unsurprised to learn that I've had to take a baseball bat to fend off the people who would love to have me dupe you all with some crypto or NFT scam. So
yeah, that's not surprising.
Sorry, guys.
Mhm.
No Cosmere coin. No Cos coin.
Unless you mean actual physical coins, in which case you can buy those.
Yes.
You actually
Which
can
are-
buy those with the
This do exist.
with Shire
Which are
Postman. They're very good.
extremely fungible.
They are. Yes, they are not non-fungible. That's true. Yeah, I mean, I constantly get AI things in my message box, so I can only imagine how many Brandon gets like all the time for AI anything, crypto anything, NFT anything. It's like, oh god, just nope. Yeah. Cool. Any other crowdfunding things? This is a lot of stuff, but I don't think that's anything new for us to talk about, really. A lot of this is like summing up stuff that,
Yeah.
you know, people who aren't too invested in the fandom and are listening to a podcast about it, it's for them. Really. You know? Summing up, if you miss stuff, this will get you up to date on a lot of stuff. And like that's great. I love that. You know, then Brandon goes through a long and interesting thing on.
You're skipping something. You're skipping something.
Yeah?
Because there's the Cosmere RPG.
I was said the entire crowdfunding section, which I think is all of part 5, and so I that is under the subheading that I was referring to. Good sir.
Okay.
We can talk about the Cosmere RPG. That's fine. Do you want to talk about the Cosmere RPG?
Like Cosmere RPG and like Brotherwise, because I do want to shout out Brotherwise.
Oh, they're
being
great.
Really cool people. And
Yes.
like I have.
Oh yeah. Okay. This is the real reason.
I have the Mistborn deck building game. I have physical stuff.
Ooh, very pretty.
Okay.
Which
Yes.
I've not played this yet, but I've looked at all of the art and it's all really good.
Yes. All right.
Nice.
Excellent.
It's
Excellent.
like there's this like gorgeous like stained glass.
Okay. That's pretty great. All right.
I got a print of that one that has like some silver foiling on it
Yeah.
at Nexus, and it's very pretty.
And also the Lord Ruler
I don't have it
being
near me.
frustratingly attractive.
I mean,
Hey.
that's canonical.
He is, but now that we have seen Hot Ivory, Hot Lord Ruler,
You're obsessed with
and
that fan
Gold,
art.
I am so
Ivory?
amused.
I'd put it
Have
on
you-
screen, but I didn't
Oh,
prep
I-
that. So yeah, you will not. But yeah, I Brotherwise is really great. Seems like they're taking in feedback and stuff. They're very hard at work, and the art is very good. So even if you don't like anything about this, you will get awesome art. That
so
kind of,
much.
it's really great.
I think Johnny O'Neill, brother 2 of Brotherwise, released or is he brother 1? One of the brothers released.
He's brother 2.
He's brother.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure.
Okay.
He released a video recapping the Dragonsteel Nexus panel that they did at Nexus, obviously.
Yep.
And you should go check it out. They show off some of the stuff that they showed off in the panel, like some of the new talent trees, some of the new paths, some art, stuff like that.
Cool.
And one of the things that he talked about was how the original player's handbook was going to be like a couple hundred pages, and it ended up being almost 400.
Yeah, I
which is
saw the
really
YouTube
funny to
comment
me.
that sounds on brand for Brandon stuff.
Yep, that checks out.
That, I mean, you know, like our podcast, it just gets longer, you know?
And there is mention that like there is like a big board game that they're working on that will probably end up being a Kickstarter.
Yeah, do
when
we
it
think that's the epic Stormlight game?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, Make a board game. I do hope we get like a Shattered Plains strategy game. That'd be good. I don't think that's gonna.
I
be
think
That could
that's
be
what
fun.
the Epic Stormlight might be.
I don't know.
I don't know. We don't have details.
It's rabid speculation.
And so the only other thing I wanted to shout out in this section was that the narrator for Isles of the Emberdark, or narrators, have been chosen, and they are not the usuals. They are not Kate and what's his face?
Yes,
Michael.
Yes.
They are Jennifer, Jill, Araya, and Callio Griffith.
Mhm.
I looked them up real quick. I didn't. Both of them have like a ton of audiobook work under their belts. I just didn't recognize any of them.
Sure.
But I'm always excited to see. Well, here I guess more like narrators in Brandon's books.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people really like the Sunlit Man narrator. Whom I don't remember the name. Sorry, but the episode that on Brandon's channel was really good. I really like him.
He was fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Enjoyable to listen to.
I'm excited for new people.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yes.
Win gave us more. Everett gave us more money.
Yes.
He's very
that's true.
excited for the eventual Diceborn campaigns using the Cosmere RPG.
That will not be
Everett
season
Whitaker!
2.
Will
William
happen
Demerit?
eventually.
Yes.
William Demerit is the narrator for some.
Ah,
Yes,
that's right. That's right. That's
yes.
Make sure to give him
Thank
credit.
you.
Here.
That's right.
He did a fantastic job.
Great. I'm so glad.
He seems cool in the Sunlit Book Club.
He
seems like a
seems
good
super
guy.
cool, for sure.
Yeah.
So, you guys should all read Brandon's long process about all of this Hollywood stuff. And he goes through every single step of everything in like a 10-step process. And I don't want to go through it all here because that would take a really long time. So definitely go check that out. But we should definitely talk about where his properties are. And Snapshot is in studio development for TV. So quite far along.
Ironically, that is also where Mistborn was before it got killed.
Was it TV? I don't know.
Well, no, it was movie, but it was
No.
step 7
Yeah. Sure.
or maybe 6.
Skyward option for television. Looking for showrunner. Okay.
So
Again,
that
these
means
don't
nothing.
mean that any of this is happening because we'll talk about Mistborn in just a second. Just to be clear.
I think anything that is not in step 8 has a reasonable chance of not happening.
Yep.
I think once you get
it
to
has
8,
a high chance of not happening.
Yeah. I think once you get to 8 is where it is worth having a conversation.
Yeah, at least worth, but still not done yet. Tress show, everyone. Hey, that's kind of cool.
Animated
for
dress show.
animation, yeah.
I think that is a excellent idea. Good idea there. Very good.
Yeah, it's like I like Tress as an animated show. That'd be cool. Like Skyward for TV, also very cool. Snapshot. It's the worst story Brandon's written, so I'm like, this offends me.
Our first, we'll do a weekly show of each episode of Snapshot.
I mean, we're gonna have to, and none of us are gonna.
I'm down.
We're
I'm
not
down.
liking it.
I mean, I didn't love Snapshot. It's no Dreamer, but like, come on, it was okay.
How many of you in chat have read Dreamer? That's what I want to see. Yes,
I've read Dreamer. Dreamer is also fine.
Yes. It's
but
fine.
like, I think I saw something about Brandon saying that like the screenplay for Snapshot improved the story.
I mean, that's not.
It could be better. Yeah.
Which like
I can see that.
potentially, but like it's a bad story to begin with, so I don't know if it's gonna like. I don't trust Brandon's opinions on that story.
It's fine. It's fine.
I thought it was fun.
But so we're nowhere. They're pitching Trust show, but I would say good idea. Like that idea. Very good.
Very excited to see that happen.
That'd be great.
if possible.
Mistborn, step 0. It got real far, and it got killed. They didn't. The studio didn't want to do it the way the producers did. Oof.
Which is, it is good that it died, because it sounds like we could have ended up with a show that is like not faithful to the material.
So you're saying we don't want to go through terrible studio notes and
Yes.
have it. Okay, yeah, agreed. I would definitely agree with that statement for sure.
Yes.
Oh,
So,
hey, good old Henry C. in that paragraph. I like that.
But not attached to this. Names were attached to this project.
But not Henry
Our
Cavill.
friend of the channel, Henry Cavill.
So, yeah. Friend.
Hi, Henry. I see that you're in chat right now.
Henry
Actually,
is absolutely watching this right now. That would be wild.
he was not one of the names.
No. Henry, if you're
although
in
he
chat,
would've-
please do a super chat for $1,000. No,
For
just kidding.
sure.
No. Be completely anonymous if you're in
No,
chat.
please
but just
be
mention me on the slide.
completely anonymous and email me to be on the show. That'd be great. Thanks.
Yes. So that's Mistborn, and that is everything else.
It's everything else. That's cool. I like that. And I don't really know how much we need to talk about this part 7 of the news from the company, you know? Ooh, we're just an hour in. That's good. That's good.
There is a
I-
couple of things I want to shout out,
Yeah,
but
that's
Ian,
fine.
why don't you are making noises, so go
Let's
ahead.
do it.
I was mostly just agreeing with Eric, and I think we can skip to like Dan and Isaac.
If anyone
Yes.
has things you want to say, please do.
Yes, there's a couple of things in this section I want to call out. One of them is the Lightweaver Foundation, which is Brandon's but not Brandon's charity org, is apparently currently at this very moment, as you
Ooh.
were watching
Ooh.
this live, running an auction where
Okay.
one of the things that you can secure is a Wind and Truth Arc Advanced Reader's Copy and
Okay.
a future Tuckerization by Brandon. So
Okay.
that is one of the very few ways you can get your name in a book. I think Wind and Truth there was a contest on Brandon's channel, and a person named Caleb something won that contest, and there's now a Caleb in Wind and Truth. He's I think a windrunner. So the Lightweaver charity thing auction ends tomorrow.
Cool. So if
So-
you're on this listening now, you can spend a lot of money to make that happen, presumably. But it's for
Yes.
charity.
Yes.
Cool. Love that.
And the other thing I wanted to call out is that there are 5 cons to which Dragonsteel is going to next year.
That seems wild.
That seems a lot.
We've already got that.
Brandon-
It's like, wow.
Brandon is not going to be on all of them,
No.
but various
I mean-
teams will be.
Say that again, Ian?
No, it wasn't important. Never mind.
Okay, no worries. Cool. Yeah. Cool.
Oh, and more website updates. The
Good.
FAQ is apparently getting updated.
Okay. That was fun to pop up again. I liked that. But
I think their website could use not being updated again and just like polish what's there and stop losing things constantly because the updates are
well,
rough.
yeah, I think the store's
Like,
fine.
did it
but
need this?
the store's fine. The main branded website of like, okay, sure, I guess. Fine.
I missed the very bad website Brandon had when
Oh,
I
the
was first
OG
getting
one?
involved.
Yeah.
With like the
OG one.
wax seal
Yeah.
icons.
The wax
I
seals.
had character, you know?
It
did.
sure had character. I'll give it that. I'm gonna go to the Wayback Machine and find
Oh,
this.
it's good. It's good. It's
Yeah.
I'll send it in chat.
It's aggressively 2000s. It is
It is.
very aggressive.
It is barely 2000s. It is aggressively late 90s.
It's like that's the version of the site I first read the annotations
And that's the
on.
only one that
Yes.
matters. Yes.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Where
yes.
you could click the spoiler things and it'd work. Yeah, I like that. That was good.
It was fun.
Yeah. Are the annotations even on the new site now? Is that true?
They are. They are somewhere.
Okay. Well, you can properly read the annotations on Argent. And
Yeah.
those links will not change.
There's at least like
matter what they
one
bring.
page from one of the annotations that you just can't like find on Brandon's website, and you can only find it on Arcanum.
Nice.
Oh, what's that one?
Is it the
Yeah,
I
what
don't
is
thing?
that?
remember. It's a random
Okay.
page. It's just like if you're
Okay.
like going through, like it just skips over it.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Let's
Go to our
2010.
website for the real reading experience.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Cool. What else before we talk about the schedule? What else?
Yeah, Dan like working on Dark One. He worked on Story Deck,
We'll talk about
which
story
we'll
deck.
talk about more when
Yep.
we're talking about Nexus, and
Yep.
then like the tease. He's also working on non-Cosmere projects that he won't tell us about.
Cool. That's
So,
that's cool.
but then we get Isaac, who's talking about like Ben McSweeney, longtime artist of the Cosmere, moved out there to be in-house art director for Prime Art, which is kind of like first time art of different things, whether that's concept art or something going into the books. And then Sean Boyles, who did the Warbreaker map and like the Mistborn Santa Christmas card, also
And
came
the
on board
original,
as
the original Kolos sticker, the one that's like a chibi Kolos and a chibi. In fact, our Sil emoji is Sean Boyle's art.
oh, okay.
Oh,
so-
not Silhart though.
Yes, the little like
Yeah.
is just a Sil sprite that flies.
Yes.
He also collaborated with Isaac on the Dragonsteel logo, which I didn't know. But
Yeah.
He's art director over specialty books and merchandise. But with
There are a lot of those.
people coming in to take stuff off of Isaac's plate, that has allowed him to work on Book of Nails, which is his Cosmere book.
We're very excited for the book.
Following Nikki Savage, Nacelle Sauvage from Era 2 Broadsheet fame. There was like a short beta read for like the first part of the book that he got feedback on, so that'll be coming at some point.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah.
That looks like the first Cosmere collab, and I think that's going to be cool. And I want them to take their time.
Yeah, not counting Story Deck, which Isaac also helped write one of the stories.
Ah, cool.
This is
He
true.
did the Lopen one, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Okay.
Then we have all the foreign editions. which
Yeah,
are
it is.
awesome,
Yeah,
but
we-
we're not going
we
to talk
didn't-
about.
We don't need to talk about the foreign editions.
Yeah.
If those are relevant to you, I'm glad they're here.
The only thing I will shout out, because I am biased, is the Bulgarian ones.
Okay, sure.
And
Fair.
one, I'm biased because I'm from there. Two, they have been doing new cover art for all of
The
them,
cover's
and it
so
looks
good.
it looks very good. So
yeah.
you don't care about the books, that's fine. You don't need to. There's no expectation. Go like either open the website or browse through the Coppermind. Each page, each book page on the Copper. So like if you go to the Way of Kings page or Oathbringer page or whatever, is gonna have a link somewhere in there that says cover gallery. Go there and you can look for international covers under that. The art, like if we have uploaded these,
They
the
are.
art is worth looking
They're
at.
all
'cause it's
there.
very good.
That's where I get so many of the Spanreeds thumbnails.
That is
because Yasin Stoilov's art is Stoilov. Thank you. I was hoping you were gonna say it, but then you didn't.
Yes. So
you
it would
screwed
be
me. You screwed me.
Yasin Stoilov.
You made me look like a fool. No.
Well, you could have slid in my DMs and be like, "Hey, yo, say this guy's name."
We have too many windows open to manage that right now. But No. The cover art is incredible. I'm very excited to see whatever he cooks up for Wind and Truth. I think that will be very cool. So if you've seen our Span Read thumbnails, you've seen a lot of that art, and I use it a lot. So
And there's more coming.
excellent. So good. So yeah, good shout. I like that.
Let's talk schedule.
Let's talk about the schedule. So important to note, Brandon put the schedule in there twice. So one's the old schedule, and then one's a new schedule. So Wind and Truth came out. That's great. Cool.
I think we can straight up ignore the old one. It's not.
Yeah, no. We're comparing and contrasting, Evgeni. What's different?
Okay.
Skyward Legacy is pushed a year to be spring, summer 2026. Still hate saying these years a lot. I really don't like it. And as we said, fall 25 for crowdfunding for Emberdark, and then early 2026 for the tour release of Emberdark.
Crowdfunding fulfillment, to be clear.
Crowdfunding fulfillment. Thank you.
Yes.
It's late at night. We record these usually a lot earlier in the day. So, yeah. And usually we edit them. Hey.
You can't say it's late at night, Eric. It's not late for you yet.
It feels late. We usually record at 10 a.m. Pacific. This feels very late to record, good sir. But yes, you're not wrong. Tale of Realities, December 25. December 26, either Dark One or Book of Nails, Isaac's Cosmere novel, and then 2027, presumably the other one. Doesn't happen there.
It is
a little unclear.
I think it is notable that they don't call it Book of Nails here, and so I wonder if there is I don't think there is another Isaac novel in the works, but it doesn't say Book of Nails in the schedule.
I think that's more Brandon wrote this section and didn't remember what it was called.
I think it's possible that it's more like people are not familiar with the title Book of Nails, and so they're just this is for normies, right?
Sure.
You know? And then all of the Ghostbloods and Elantris stuff, that schedule's the same. That is not different. But December 2031 is Stormlight 6. That's new on there. And White Sand is not on this at all. So there you go.
Well, it will slot in wherever.
It'll slot in somewhere. And I'm sure
it needs to be rewritten first.
Yeah.
I do find it interesting that they're doubling up with Elantris and Ghostblood books in the same year.
I always thought that was weird when we talked about it last year. It's wild.
It makes some sense, because you don't want 5 years between book 1 and book 3 of Ghostbloods.
Sure.
But it's still that's a lot of books. I'm excited for it.
That's gonna be fun. It's gonna be
I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Bouncing back and forth between the two.
Yeah.
2028 to 2031 is gonna be just a fire hose of Cosmere.
We are gonna be feasting.
Amazing.
Feasting.
I'm just looking at this of what years am I going to make it to Nexus for?
Every year from 2028 to 2031.
Yeah.
I'm just happy the Elantris sequel has a year on here now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And also, Horneater release is now unclear, but Brandon did say that he's gonna work on Horneater. I forget what he said. 18 months after now or something?
Yeah, I think he was gonna I'm gonna start working 18 months. So I would expect Horneater to happen 2 to 3 years from now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he said he's gonna write it between Ghostblood 2 and Ghostblood 3.
Yeah. That's true. Everyone in this chat is not a normie. Confirmed. If you're in chat right now, or if you're listening to this later and commenting, you're not normies. Mm-hmm. If you're subscribed to our channel, you're not a normie.
Not a normie.
You're weird like the rest of us.
Embrace it.
Embrace it. Yeah, we're nerds. It's great. Cool. Any other State of the Sanderson things, or do we want to transition Nexus, or what do we want to do?
I do want to quickly hijack this
Hi, Jack.
to do quick light day stuff.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
like
cool.
light day was a big new thing for this year.
Right.
Not without controversy with the mugs that could not be used as mugs.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that on the show.
I'm sad I ordered my set of stuff after that happened, so I did not get one of those mugs. Because I kind of want one now. Not to use,
But
for
as
like
a-
to
have.
purposes.
But to
like,
put it
as
behind,
display.
that's like, this is the illegal mugs.
Yes. But
The
so I
forbidden
did
mug.
get Truth Watcher.
Hell yeah.
I'm wearing full Truth Watcher stuff.
Nice. Hell
Wow.
yeah.
Very nice.
Very good.
And then I got all of the new pins of Venli.
Ooh, nice.
Adolin.
Nice.
Yasna.
Nice.
Venarin.
I just gave up on the pins,
Lift.
man. I need to stop spending money.
Dalinar.
It's a lot of merch.
Yeah,
a
it's
lot.
too much swag.
Navani and second Navani. because I want to. I bought two so I could get the because the
'cause one of
second
them is
was
free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're gonna,
I have
you
two
personally
pieces.
are going to pick an extra pin, obviously it's Navani. We all know this.
Yeah. Like I was hoping this would arrive before I went to Nexus because like I'll have one for display and then one to put on my lanyards.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Nice.
okay, that's my light year. Like day
Light
stuff. I'm
year.
interested to see how big this is in future years. I kind of hope they don't do like 10 like Radiant Order stuff every year because
That sounds like a lot.
it is a lot.
yeah, and it's like it's got to be so much on production as well, and it like I don't know. Hopefully the numbers tell a story.
So sometimes you get a bunch of mugs that can't be mugs. You know?
Sometimes it happens.
Sometimes it happens.
Yeah, Emily Ping was Nexus pin.
Yes. I will say with the mugs, as funny as it is that the mugs, funny and also bad that the mugs did not do what they said they'd do. They did refund everyone. And like, I don't know what else you want for them to like, we discovered the error and we're refunding and like getting rid of like presumably all these mugs, right? Like that costs a lot of money to do. So that's what they got to do.
Hey.
That's fine.
Mods, can we ban Mori from chat for having just the absolute cursed thought that we're gonna have to deal with 16 mistings worth of merch?
Honestly, that'd be pretty tight, actually. That'd be pretty tight. They have so much time to think about that. But I was suckered into the Else collar shirt, and I should have bought the pants. But I'll buy some more. It'll be good. Oh, there were sweaters. There were sweaters as well. There's a Tress sweater, which is super cute. There was a lot of good merch, actually. A lot of people wearing the
I considered getting the
sweaters.
Skybreaker. I considered getting the
you-
Skybreaker pajama pants,
Yeah.
but I ended up not doing that because that's a lot of money, and so I got the dice instead.
Yes.
The pants are very comfortable.
Yeah.
I have them too. Can confirm. Extremely comfortable.
Yeah,
I
think
do wish I had bought the next size down for the pants, but
Yeah.
I wish you
they're
hadn't
very
told me that.
comfy.
Yeah, I think I need the pants. I didn't want to spend money on the pants. I'm like, okay, I won't spend money on the pants. But I'm like, kind of want the pants, and this is how the peer pressure and capitalism works here.
Yeah.
Just
And-
double check the sizing chart for the pants.
Does the sizing chart does it actually reflect reality? Unlike some stores where it absolutely doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. I just know I didn't really pay attention to it.
Okay. Well, I bought pants from a place that said it fits true to size, and that is just not true because they're like, oh, do 38. No, I wear 33s. I did the measurements and everything. It's infuriating. Anyway, let's talk about Nexus. So all of us were at Dragonsteel Nexus earlier this month. It feels like it was so long ago because that was a lot, but it really wasn't.
No, that feels like days ago, man. What are you talking about?
It does feel like days ago, actually. Yeah.
I've had a lot to do, okay? I've had a lot to do. I always have a lot to do. But where do we want to start with Nexus. Do we want to talk about story deck? What do we want to do?
Either ball
feel
or
like-
story deck, I think.
Yeah, baller story deck.
I'd
think
say
that
start
it-
with story deck
Story deck?
because that was the fun surprise in badge registration and pickup.
Yes.
You like show up, you're handed your bag, your badge, and like whatever swag you pre-purchased, whatever.
Yep.
And then you get like a little cardboard box and 2 packs of cards.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Then it's I have all the show and tell today.
You don't get the binder. You had to purchase the binder.
You had to
Yeah,
purchase
the binder was like $25 in the store.
Mhm.
Well worth it because this little box they gave you was not enough storage.
Not
space.
enough.
I will say they massively improved the store lines. There wasn't even a queue on the last day. They
Really
nailed it.
good.
That's good.
Well,
So
on the
there
last
were-
day, sure.
Oh, this is barely a
Yeah.
queue. Other days.
So like
Oh,
there
yeah.
were like some simple like heralds, and then with Batar.
Ooh,
on the
Miranda
back.
Meeks Batar.
So
Mhm.
shiny.
Very shiny.
And then it's very shiny.
completely
And
terrible.
then
at
it's
studio
it's
life.
like each card has like a snippet of a story. And then there's cool art on the back.
I am
Yasna
enjoying the
7
binder, just
is
not
very
playing
famous.
nice.
Yasna's feet. Let's go.
Yeah, so just like a lot of art. So there's a Yasna story. There's a Lopin story that has art by Marie, who we love on this show.
Love it.
We will always stand Marie arts.
Yep. True.
So the Yasna story is co-written with Dan. The Lopin story is co-written with Isaac. And then there's a third story, which is a very non-canon but fun Chasm Friends story, also written with Dan, that has some very cute art of Chasm Fiends.
Okay, that's
Um,
okay. All right.
And they make a little friend.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cute.
And so obviously there are holographic versions of all of these cards, and then there are also misprint cards that have a little bit of non-canonical remix of the text.
Yes.
And the art in a lot of cases.
In some cases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I immediately was like, I absolutely don't have time to deal with cards. And so I gave my cards to my wife. And she started very late, but got the Yasna story. So yeah. Bonnie and my wife they're getting those
that-
Yasna cards. Yeah.
That was a blast. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Doing the card game, doing the con game was a time suck.
Yes.
Not gonna lie about that. It was fun. It was genuine fun. It probably sucks if you weren't there and now you don't have access to the stories. You have to buy them. You are at the mercy of getting lucky with whatever cards you purchase, because we were getting these for free, by the way.
Yeah, you didn't have to buy.
Obviously we have to purchase a badge, and that's kind of folded
Sure.
into that, right? But we were getting these for free, and we had like an area of 8,000 people to trade with. So
Yeah.
this is going to be much worse for anyone who is just living in the middle of somewhere and like trying to assemble a story. So
Yep.
I hope they've accounted for that somehow in Dragonsteel when these go for sale. But we'll see.
So a little bit more context on like we were getting these for free is like we also got this little passport book
Yes.
with some fun text that was clearly not camera read. Just gonna throw that out there.
Hold up, I got it. I have it. Where does it say it?
Where does it say it? You gotta show to the. It's one of the best typos that I've ever seen. It's so funny.
Oh, the Nalthis
Oh,
one?
yes.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Nalthis one.
Mhm.
Yeah. Nalthis is a relatively young plant.
It's a plant.
It's a plant, you guys.
It's a plant.
Canon
It's a plant.
now.
Yeah. Also,
Facts.
like the detritus is in there, which is fun.
Oh yeah, because
Um,
the detritus was crossed out and like, we don't want your fantasy worlds in there, which is very funny.
Yeah.
They had a lot of fun
and
with
so
that.
like basically each of the rooms was named after a different planet. Like so you could get a stamp for like going to a panel in that room, and once you have a certain number of stamps on a page, like you could go in and redeem it like at the 10 to get a pack of cards.
Yeah.
Which was fun because it also like there were pages for the panel rooms. There was also like stuff for the game room, like go play a game with like more than 3 people, play a new game, teach somebody a game, like just like giving you a little prompts for activities to like get you to engage. And luckily they weren't super strict about it. Like
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
thing I do want to
Uh,
call out in the passport is that we got some like planetary like star system symbols
Yes.
for the first time.
yes.
Yeah.
Obviously, for a long time we've had like and these are not necessarily
Stuff in
that,
Argent
but like
Unbounded.
Roshar
Yeah.
and
Yep.
Scadrial. Yeah, we've known those,
Classics.
but now we have Lumar
Hell yeah.
and Nalthis,
we had
for
Nalthis
example.
Well,
for a
we
while.
had
Did we have
Nalthis.
Nalthis?
Yeah, we had it for a while.
Yes.
Where did
we had the
It's been
Tears of
jewelry.
We
Escalade
have
as
the
a- like,
flower.
Yeah, we had the flower, but we didn't have the Court of Gods pyramid.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
That's
I don't think
Oh,
that's
oh,
like
sure, the
that's just
stamps.
making it bigger. I don't think that's like the formal Nalthis.
But they
symbol.
could have made it bigger by just like embiggening the
They
flower.
were making passport stamps.
all right,
So
sure,
like
sure,
there
whatever,
is
whatever.
some variation.
Okay, all right, we may disagree. We have Kumashi now,
Yeah.
which I saw someone had the brilliant idea of getting a second stamp of Kumashi. So they had a magenta and a cyan
Ooh.
one, and
Yeah,
someone had the
overlap.
brilliant
I saw that.
idea of doing like both of them on
Yeah.
top of each other, but slightly off. It looked
Yeah.
great. And then we have Canticle.
Why is
here
our
on
logo
this.
inside the Canticle logo? This
What?
little
No, it's
diamond.
not.
This little. It's a joke. I'm not. It's not
Oh,
actually. Like it's slightly.
You're not wrong.
Hey, come on. Welcome to Shardcast.
that is funny. That is funny.
Yeah.
Just colored in.
Yeah. I fit. We were
And
in the
there's-
Canticle, thing. Yeah. Hey, our stamp turned out great, guys. That was
Our
good.
stamp. Look at this like sharp color. Like
Yeah.
That was
Well, that
great.
faded once we stamped thousands of
Yeah.
times. But,
And
yes.
for shame, Evgeni, not going to us first.
Wow.
I knew I could always secure this stamp.
That is true.
See,
That-
I prioritized us and then Brotherwise because that's the priority in my heart.
Mine was
Ooh.
also first.
And then all the random people.
Ooh.
Okay, well, you are all tryhards.
Not me. I literally didn't do any stamps. I did not participate with any con games.
You saved so much time.
Yeah, I know. I know I don't have time at cons. I'm already stressed out about cons every single time. I don't have time for games.
Yeah.
And like going back to, I think Evgeni was talking about this first. Like this was all very fun for days 1 and 2, and then day 3, it all just got very stressful. As like I need to complete my passport.
Yeah.
I need to get all the cards I need to complete the stories. And I was like,
You just
Yes.
gotta let go and let
I was stressed the whole time.
you just gotta let
No.
the spiritual realm. The stories will come eventually. It'll be good. It's fine.
mhm.
It's fine.
I had a
Be
great
fair.
time.
Yeah.
I had a great time just grabbing one of the stories collectively in a group. And not stressing about getting absolutely everything.
Yeah.
That made it a lot of fun instead of
Yeah.
very stressful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm saying, to be fair, some of my stress is my own fault because I volunteered with the Lightweaver Foundation this year, and so I had like half as much time to actually be at the con
That
doing
doesn't
con
help
things.
for sure.
So
Mhm.
that is
Yeah.
my own fault that was limited. But it was definitely stressful.
Yeah.
I have a lot of other thoughts, but I'm going to let other people say their thoughts before I go on a rant.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it was clearly very popular at the con. Like, every surface that you could possibly imagine at the con center, people were card trading, which made it very hard to find seats to eat food. But, that's fine.
Yeah. I was also frustrated that like there were people in the gaming room that were taking up space with cards. We're like, that's not the purpose of this room.
Yeah,
No, but it's a flat surface, so
it's a flat surface.
But like, when I was going there to like play a game with my friends, it took us a while to find a place to sit.
Yeah.
Because there were half the space was full up with cards.
And it certainly
you can do
didn't
that
help
on the floor.
Yeah. Get on
Plenty
the
of
floor.
people were. Lots of people were.
Yeah. It accomplished what Brandon wanted of bringing a lot of people together, where there's people just going around like, do you have Herald 9? Apparently there
Herald
was
7, 8, or 9.
Yeah.
7, 8, or 9. Yeah.
Apparently, some of the high numbered cards, there was an issue with like shipments or something, and so those were like extra rare. But they weren't supposed to be. I don't think.
The last a shipment was lost. Supposedly, there's been no official confirmation on this, but supposedly a shipment was lost, and just like how like the cards were like cut up and like sorted or in packaged or whatever. Coincidentally, like it was a large like concentration of high number cards were in that shipment. So it's like for the stories, like anything like above 40, like for the Heralds 7, 8, and 9, they were just like very hard to get a hold of, which was part of why day 3 was so stressful. It's like because everybody was looking for those high number cards, and they were.
And some people just opened them first time. I'm like, hey, I got them.
One point
I pulled
on day 3.
I pulled a hollow tome, and I'm like, I'm missing 7 and 9.
Yeah, funny.
At one point on day 3, people were walking around with paper stuck on their foreheads, saying, "I'm looking for this card."
Yep.
I'm just walking around like that.
Yep.
There were like trading tables where you could get any card from 1 to 48. You just reach and grab it because they had so many of them. But 49 and up, you had to trade for. There was a couple of tables that were like, hey, if you want to take one of these cards, you got to leave another one in that same high range. So that scarcity aside, the trading was fun. Like I was able to, by attending panels that I mostly wanted to attend anyways, and by doing like laps around the vendor hall, I was able to get enough packs that I got everything that I wanted from the normal supply, and then a few of the rare cards.
Yeah. I think one of the difficult things was there's a trading tent, and the line for that was very long, especially on day 3.
Because like the line for the trading tent was also the line for redeeming your stamps to get packs. Yeah. So it's like it was an ordeal.
I don't know how much they knew that it would be quite this popular, so
no.
I mean,
there's these 3 new stories. I still haven't read them because I haven't had time.
Neither have I.
I haven't read them either.
But
one of them.
Yeah, the one. Yeah,
I like that they did this. I'm not a fan of them talking about how like, oh yes, these stories are now exclusive for Story Deck for at least a year, and I'm like, because they've said that like packs are going to be available like on the store, which I know I'm gonna buy more because I want to get more of the alt cards. But it's just like I think this works great in a concentrated area. Releasing it to mass public purchase, like it's not going to be as easy to trade.
Yeah,
it's like
I don't know how
much are these things going to be selling for? Because I doubt they're selling individual packs, so they're going to sell a box.
Yeah.
how
Yeah,
much
yeah.
is that going to go for?
Yeah.
Like, there's no guarantee that 100% has all of the cards for one or more of the stories. So I feel like doing this, like, and then like releasing like the text of the stories like a month or two later would have been the best case scenario.
Yeah.
And then people can like buy the cards if they want for like the novelty.
Yeah.
But
I think the other option would have been to just not have the stories be canonical, because I think the big problem here, or the biggest problem here, is that these are the Yasna story and the Lopen story are canon Cosmere stories, and there is a big FOMO around, hey, there's now canon Cosmere that I am not privy to and cannot be privy to.
yeah, but like if they're not canon stories,
Then who cares?
people just care about them less.
Yeah.
Like, which like
That is-
yeah,
I
like
still
there's less FOMO, but like also like
Then it doesn't matter.
people wouldn't be as interested in collecting them like at the event.
I don't know. I think you can have like shenanigan stories. Like you can still have Cosmere characters. Just make it clear that it's, hey, we're just playing with these ideas.
I think that's less good. I think that like they should fix it in a different way. Like,
Okay.
Yeah. Ian, you have thoughts. Go, please rant.
I
Hi.
have thoughts.
Hi.
I think this was a really cool idea that has a lot of potential, and execution had several issues, some of which were not actually Dragonsteel's fault or anything, and some of which maybe are Dragonsteel's fault and shouldn't be going the way they are, in my opinion. Which I think the biggest thing to me is it's already been touched on here, is that the card game should not be the only way to get a hold of these stories, and it really especially should not be like you have to buy them in cards randomized and you have no idea whether you're actually going to get anything. I think that's just bad and a little like maybe a little exploitative. I mean, like, I don't have anything against trading card games conceptually. I think it's fun, but it's also the kind of fun that costs a lot of money potentially. Which is especially for stories, which is what we're mostly all here for, is the stories. Making that something like this kind of doesn't feel great, and then especially like not releasing them in any way other than that at all, and
For a while, at least.
that's for a long time, like at least a year, I think someone said somewhere. Brandon said somewhere, and I don't like that. That doesn't feel good. It's like it's a fun idea, but I think maybe not all of the results were thought through all the way. Which has been a few things lately. I feel like Brendan has a lot of fun ideas that I think were maybe not thought through all the way to a casual fan's experience who doesn't have infinite money. But we won't get into like all of that. And at the convention it was fun, but there were things about it there that were stressful too, which like the higher numbers being harder to get, that's not their fault. Like something happened
Yeah.
and that's
Shipping
really
sucks.
unfortunate, but like you can't blame Dragonsteel for that really. But like I think they would have done better corralling of the whole thing. Like it kind of it's spread out to like every part of the convention, and I know that there were a bunch of people who either were or weren't participating in it to whatever extent, who were unhappy with that. Like Ian said, it took over a lot of space that wasn't necessarily meant to be used for that. There were people in the halls, there were people over like every available table anywhere. And a lot of I know that at least some people found it harder to like actually talk and engage with other fans very much because everyone was just collecting the cards and doing the con games all the time, which can be a really fun bonding activity, but also like sometimes you just want to talk to people, and yeah, it.
Sure.
I have not had any personal experiences with this, and thankfully I have not heard too many horror stories. But I have heard some horror stories of people being jerks with trading and like harassing people about stuff, and that's probably always going to happen to some extent, but it is unfortunate that it happened here. And it's on a slightly different note from the story deck, but going back onto the stamps, and specifically, well, starting with the exhibitors having stamps, I think that was meant to be a boon for exhibitors, and I have heard some exhibitors say that they think it helps them, particularly exhibitors who didn't have a stamp themselves, but were like nearby exhibitors who did. They think they got more business from that. But from a bunch of exhibitors who had the stamps, I've heard more negative reviews, I think. That it was not helping business. It was clogging things up. There were huge lines. People just wanted to get in and get their stamp and get out. And like with having a limited amount of time to do all this, I don't even blame people too much for wanting to just get in and get out. But like that also is unfortunate because like a lot of people wanted the stamp for the game but had no intention to engage with the vendor. And whether you feel guilty about that or are just like totally chill with it, either way, that kind of sucks for the vendor, I feel like. It's a fun side thing, but it should not be the main way of engaging with exhibitors, I think. And for a lot of them, I think it was fairly prominent.
I definitely
So
wanted to
I've
chat
heard
with people
a lot of
more.
negative things there.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot there. And
I think it felt better last year when like we were just hanging out at the booth and like people could come and
agreed.
talk.
Yeah. It did bring people to booths, but how effective was that? I don't know. But I sure stamped a lot of things on the first day at 11 a.m. Let me tell you, that was like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, I will say I had fun stamping. It was very cathartic.
It's
but
very fun.
You're right. Like it was a lot of just like taking, stamping.
Hey, how's it going? Stamp. Yeah, yeah. I did,
and then
I
awkwardly staring at people holding their passports, not paying attention that I'm ready to take it.
Yeah,
I will say, I noticed some people who were standing to the side too, who looked like they wanted to engage, but they almost felt bad because we were so busy stamping.
Yeah,
didn't get a chance to actually talk.
Yeah, and that definitely sucks for sure.
And if you are in line to like get stamped and you maybe want to talk to the exhibitor, but you know that if you do, you are holding the line.
Yeah.
That's definitely the type of stuff that I'm like, I will not hold up a line ever. I can't do it. Like I will get out of there. Yeah, it was a lot better on the last days. But the first day it was bad. But yeah, I with story deck, I'm interested to see what they do with releasing them. I think as a free con game, I don't have any issues. But yeah, if you're selling booster packs, don't love that when you're just in the middle of nowhere loving a story and you just get like, all right, cool, I got a few booster packs. Like, there's no way they're gonna do that. It's so dumb.
I was thinking about all of this as Ian was talking, and I think one of the several fundamental problems with this plan is that unlike trading card games, unlike something Magic the Gathering, if you are talking about a trading story or whatever, you cannot not have the full set.
Yeah.
If you miss one card, you don't have the full story.
True.
And that sucks.
Yeah.
Right. That's just bad. Whereas with all of these, like, they are dependent on, maybe there's like 150 card set, but you can assemble a deck with 50 or 70 or 80 of them or whatever.
Yeah, totally. That's like something, at least. Yeah. There's a
Another
recommendation.
thing in this,
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, another thing in the same vein is like, unlike things like Magic and Pokemon and stuff, there's like wide appeal to getting into it. And yeah, there's wide appeal to like getting into stories in general, maybe. But these are all things where like you're not gonna understand the Jesna thing if you haven't read Words of Radiance.
Yeah.
Same thing for the Lopen, Words of Radiance. So if you're not already into Stormlight, those don't mean anything to you. Chasm Friends, I don't know how much sense that would make to someone. Maybe, again, I haven't like fully read these yet. Maybe that one would be a little more introductory level, but it's like, these are, even for the fandom, they already have like a level of people who are not going to be into them just because they have not gotten into the requisite content.
It's
And
niche.
so it's another limiting factor where if you're not in a place that has like a ton of Brandon Sanderson fans already, like in Utah, maybe we could make it work. Outside of Utah, from what I've heard from a lot of fans, it's gonna be tough to actually physically trade cards with people in person.
I mean, one of the like most regular forms of of compliments that we get for this podcast is something along the lines of, "Hey, I don't have anyone in my physical vicinity to talk Cosmere with. You guys are like filling in that niche for me."
We're the parasocial relationship if you don't have Cosmere friends around you. And you know what? Everyone I met who said hi was super nice. Everyone was so nice. So, yeah. I will say in chat, there was kind of an interesting idea that one way to kind of deal with this is to have more things like the Herald cards, where it's like, it's not a story, but it's just like, hey, yeah, it's cool art for characters.
Collectible stuff.
And so it's like, it's collectible, but like, you don't have to get a deck of 54 to, have something sensible, right? So I think there's ways to make it reasonable there. I don't know how they'd sell it outside of cons, but in the context of a con game, I have no issue with this whatsoever.
Like, something that's just popped in my mind that I think would be cool is like, hey, like, you're buying stuff from the store, like, you spend over X amount, they toss in a pack of cards.
Sure.
Like, as like a freebie. I don't know how cost effective that is.
Yeah.
Again, we have no idea how much these things are going to retail for.
Or in
like,
what form.
It'd be a fun way to just like get like it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Cool. Obviously, like, we had a lot of fun at Nexus, but I think the other big topic is the ball. What did you guys think of the ball? We were all in the same ball session, and so was Brandon, which was wild.
Not planned.
Not planned.
Yeah. I will say what I said at the ball, which was I was skeptical it was going to be worth the extra price tag. And then I walked in, I'm like, nope, this is cool. And then all of the cool stuff started happening. And I'm like,
yeah.
I went in with, I think, higher expectations than you. I was like, oh, this is going to be, I think this is going to be neat. I think I'm going to like this. And it still exceeded those expectations. It was, like, for those of you who weren't there, there are videos that you can literally just find on YouTube. People have, like, fans have recorded essentially the entire thing, so you can get that. But it's like a little theater production, right? There are actors who are playing the characters who are in attendance, like Shallan and Adolin and Dalinar and Navani and stuff like that. And they were
Adolin's brother. He's not invited,
but not the other one.
What do you mean? Kaladin's there.
No.
That's
No,
Lover.
you were
That's Lover.
you were mistaking Dalinar's son for Adolin's brother. There, that's different entities.
Yes.
But yeah, so there were actors, and they were dressed in wonderful costumes. I think Kaylee, who did a lot of the costumes for these things, did an amazing job with them. I think the actors did an amazing job with them, with their roles. I cannot get over like how good the Shallan actress was. I was just like, she
That's
struck
Shallan.
such a perfect balance of of being Shallan, right? Of being like a little dorky and sometimes a little shy and clumsy and confident and brash, and it's just she did great. She was the star of the show, and that is saying something in a show in which we had a wonderful wit,
An amazing wit. Holy crap.
He
Jackson
nailed
Dicker,
it.
I believe.
Insanely good. Like I was
Yes.
he was the announcer. I'm like, oh, that's wit. And like there was a part where he was just like looking up at Yasna like this with puppy dog eyes. And just like that, the acting was just so good.
They did post a compilation of like the professional photographer taking pictures at all of the balls. That like it's on Brennan's website. I would like recommend checking that out, seeing the amazing art, and amazing costumes, and there was amazing art there as well of the bride and groom, and then the bride and groom together, including like a life-size replica of Maya Lauren in blade form, which was
blade form.
very cool.
I don't know if I saw that.
Yeah,
It was by the
entrance.
painting.
There was a guest book that may or may not have been signed by Luca Ilariel and Lois Hadriel.
And Dier Venture and Genitekiel, in fact. Potentially.
Which was very fun. And it's like the actors were also available like to take pictures with people. I did get one with Navani. Like she was in a group of like a bunch of actors, and like I talked to the guy who was taking photos. I'm like, I just want one with Navani. And she, like, when he was explaining that to like the actress who plays Navani, she was like, just me? And it was adorable. I'm like, yes, Navani is my favorite character. I'm just getting one with you.
Bonnie, what'd you think?
Incredible.
You gotta be close to the mic. You're cutting out. You gotta be close to the mic.
You got it.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty incredible. I went in with expectations for, maybe some decorations, maybe some theming. They went all out. It was not recognizable as a conference room whatsoever. It was incredible. The lighting was incredible. There was a glyph burning station as well. The actors were amazing. There was some pretty fantastic choreography.
Backflips were involved.
The drinks were really good as well. I thought they were pretty good.
The violet wine was quite good.
The one I had was good.
I did not like any of it.
Yeah.
I heard very mixed opinions on the drinks.
Yeah.
The one I had was definitely delicious.
Should've got violet.
Yeah, it was pretty fantastic. Wit was amazing. Shallan was amazing. Adolin was amazing. I saw a gorgeous picture of Adolin spinning Shallan, which was just a beautiful, beautiful picture. Fantastic photography. It was just overall a really good experience.
Ian.
Yeah, I went in with low expectations, honestly, and it was actually great. It exceeded my expectations. There were some problems, but it was mostly excellent. The acting was excellent. I will say I think they need to, and they've probably gotten this feedback and they're planning to. They need to do something so that people can see the like actual performance parts and dances and stuff, if they are even like not right next to the place, because like as a short person, I caught some of them, but then when I was on the outside of the mass of people, as a short person, there was no
Hopeless.
getting
Completely
There was no
helpless.
seeing any of it for some of those.
Yep.
But there'll be videos and stuff, so that's at least not the end of the world. The drinks I had were also good. I liked the violet and the orange. And then I had the curry, and I didn't love that. I didn't have the chowder, but the curry was not impressive. But just the atmosphere was pretty awesome. The atmosphere was great, and the performances that I did see were great. I got a selfie with Wit, and he understood the assignment of being Wit. Like, he wasn't just funny, he was also like that slightly like nicer, more encouraging side to Wit. Because like I approached this guy, and I was kind of a little bit nervous of like asking to take a picture with an actor, and he like notices me kind of nervously hovering and starts mockingly like mimicking hovering back at me in like in a wit way, but not like in a not like in a malicious way. Yeah, in a very wit way, and it worked to like make me less nervous, and like it worked. It was a wit moment, and I got the selfie, and it was cool, and it was cool, guys.
It was so good. I getting prepped, I was like, man, this is a lot of effort getting prepped and things. Is this going to be worthwhile?
Yeah.
And then we went in. There was like a tunnel that was decked out like Shadesmar. It looked amazing. There were giant oak gates spread, and we weren't allowed to take pictures of them because that would, people were streaming in, obviously. I heard Wit was making fun of people entering. I believe that's the case. There was someone in Shardplate, and Wit made fun of them.
Yeah, I entered right behind the person in Shardplate, so Wit was distracted for my entrance.
Same.
I mean, I didn't get it either. But
been insulted by Wit now?
Yeah. The atmosphere, absolutely incredible. Brandon was there chilling with his family, and so they had to do a few announcements of like, hey, Brandon's chilling. Cool. But he did such a good toast of like saying, oh, I met Dalinar in 1994 when I first came up with him. Like, I met Yasna in 2001 or whatever, and like Yasna, she came out fully formed. And it was such a cute speech. Wit made fun of Brandon and said Emily was great and Brandon wasn't. Love that.
Facts.
Total facts. I thought the food was there. I should have gotten the violet wine. We didn't talk. All the drinks were in an enormous goblet, and it was unclear, but we all got goblets, and we had to figure out how to pack those. And these things are heavy. They're massive goblets. And I was like, oh, you're getting a gift bag where you get a giant goblet. I'm like, I mean, they'd probably sell that for like $50 on the store.
They were for sale.
Okay.
I don't know for how much.
About 50.
$50 was the price at Lightweaver. Yeah.
That seemed correct. Right? And so I was like, okay, I feel like I got a ton of value for money, even though I felt that the food was kind of mid and that the sweet chowder was still also spicy for some reason. Or sorry, the curry. Excuse me. Both curries were spicy. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, like, as somebody who is picky about food, for a variety of reasons.
Yes.
I didn't love that they didn't announce what the food was until you were in line. I do think that is actively bad. And also, none of the options were something I would eat. So.
Yeah. On the other hand, I didn't have time to eat because I was hanging with people, and much like Jess and I's wedding, I wanted more time to hang out with people, and I could have gone for another hour. You know, that'd be
easy.
ideal.
Yes, easily.
And there was Kaladin. We had Adolin, Shallan, and Kaladin. There was a fun moment of them bantering, and then Kaladin just he takes off his coat and he just does a backflip. And I'm like, okay, all right. And so then we had Adolin and Kaladin doing a mock spear blade duel. There was the actual dialogue, which is just as gay as the book, of not bad for a bridge boy, not bad for a princeling. And they said that. It was great. Love that. And then what? Yasna? It was either, I think it was Navani, was like, oh, my gift is like an honor spren doing a show.
Yes.
And then there was just circus aerials, and my wife loves circus aerials, and so we were right by the edge, and she was just blown away, happy as could be. I met so many people, saw Daniel Green there, hell yeah, and a bunch of other people. It was a blast. I was blown away by how good it was. Completely worth it. I absolutely agree that the scripted events were really hard to pay attention to, and there was another scripted event that was not mic'd, and if you're on the wrong side of the ball, you just didn't see it at all. You just like, okay, that was I missed out on something because I just stood in the wrong spot, which I think that sucks.
That I think was just an issue for our session.
Yeah,
that it was not supposed to cut. The mic was not supposed to cut
I think there were a few parts like that for the mics, but I thought the acting was honestly incredible. Like, just watching the actors dancing and their facial expressions, they seemed like the characters, which was like wild. They went all out there. And yeah, just it was awesome, guys. They even had an in-world painting of AonEne and Shallan, like their wedding portrait, and it was of the actors in the costume there. I'm like, oh man, that's great. That's so cute. So I can't be more effusive. It was exactly what I thought it would basically be like, but like really executed well, I think. So
yeah.
I think they fixed the visibility issue, and these balls are going to be a ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Maybe make the music a little less loud.
Yeah.
It was very overpowering sometimes.
Well, it didn't help that we did a group photo of like, no one's standing here, and then, it's because there's speakers right here. That was maybe not the best plan, but we got our photo eventually.
Yeah. And somebody mentioned wishing they would do a video of the ball. Yes, that would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Would love for a video of this ball to be out there. So I could see the parts I missed because I was on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
I also want to shout out that the actor who played Kaladin is also the CEO of Speechify.
Wild.
Who was one of the audiobook platforms Brandon partnered with for the secret projects.
That is insane to me. That Instagram reel where he said he wanted to play Kaladin for so long, sent an email to Brandon, this is why you should cast me as Kaladin, trained for so long, created Speechify separately, and got into a contract with Brandon, and then for this ball, Brandon or someone was like, hey,
it was Brandon.
Hey, do you want to audition to be Kaladin? And he did a great job. The only problem was his hair was short, but they made it in continuity here. It's like he had to get it cut for the wedding. Nailed it. So crazy that it's the Speechify CEO.
Yeah,
that's
wild
to me.
That's wild.
Was not expecting backflips and just like a whole. There was like a whole bridge for kata thing that was happening, and so it was great. I think if you just had cameras to record the thing and then put it on screens at the sides, then you'd be set. Something like that, like a concert type thing.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
It's a little less immersive, but I want to see the scripted events and not feel missed out if you're not tall, right? So. Oh, yes, and Veronica is correct. After the first dance with AonEne and Shallan, yes, there was very it was like a millennial wedding, that's for sure. The musical choice.
Yeah, as a millennial, I loved it.
Oh, it was
It
great.
was a very millennial wedding.
Yeah. I mean, AonEne and Shallan, they're basically, we're going to have a millennial wedding, and the music choice fit. I believe there was, DJ Sadblast?
No, it was
DJ Stormblast.
DJ
Stormblast.
With
DJ
a bunch of
Stormblast.
yes.
Sad boys Stormblast.
Sad, yes. So that was I didn't mind. I think that was good. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. I can see why someone would not like the music choice though. But having just had my wedding last year, it felt very, very homey, honestly. So.
It did. It felt remarkably like your wedding for a variety of reasons.
In that I would also want an extra hour to hang out with people.
Yeah, more time, please.
Yeah. But,
If my VIP badge could just come with more time, that'd be great.
Yeah. I mean, obviously they have to do 2 sessions, and to reset all that and to give actors a break, like it totally makes sense. But I was like, I could do at least a half hour more for this for sure. So, yeah. Overall, love the ball. I just fix the visibility somehow. Good luck with that, but
yeah,
I don't think TV screens are going to ruin the immersion. Yes.
Also, release the menu ahead of time and maybe have like a slightly bigger menu. Like, I know you can't do like tons and tons of things because there'll be tons of people there, but like, I don't know, maybe a slightly bigger menu and just like let people know what it is.
As someone who does not like spicy food, I do not like not having half of the food options. Like, that is maybe not the best choice. But okay.
Yeah. Have an option for boring white people, please.
I mean, you're in Utah. That you'd think they'd think about that.
Let's get some
offense to
shin
Utah.
bread in there.
But like, come on.
Yeah.
I like spicy things. I just like I don't know, foods. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot to eat.
Yeah, like I barely had time. Like, people were still streaming in, and that was the only reason I could eat. So, yeah. Cool. Do you guys have any other Nexus thoughts? I think we kind of covered most things. Yes.
I do. So this is part whatever of me showing stuff off.
Yeah. Great.
One of the big surprises that they did not announce,
yes,
but I just found in the store is that there are dice sets for each of the orders.
Boom.
That are gorgeous and include a plot die for the Cosmere RPG.
Corporate synergy. In this case, I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah.
For the plot weaver system.
Yes.
Speaking of dice, I got dice for the Stormlight RPG that doesn't actually exist because it's the Cosmere RPG.
That sounds like fake news to me. That's not real.
What's Stormlight
I
RPG?
met so many of the Brotherwise folks who I am familiar with from online spaces, but I got to be in actual meet space with them, and it was really great. Like, hey, shout out to Jillian. She's amazing.
Boom. Shout out to Jillian.
Is great. She was on a panel about Moash that I unfortunately did not get to go to, but I heard it was really good. Merrick. I love Merrick. Lila, I'm going to stop naming people because I'm going to forget people. I'm sorry if I didn't name you. But yeah, all of Brotherwise, super amazing. Yep. I love them.
They are so passionate, guys. It's hard for me to overstate how passionate about the property they are.
And then I got a Seth pin for getting a copy of the book.
Nice.
And then they had 3 new pins in the store that are numbered part of Series 2.
Okay.
Which was number 19, Painter.
Ooh.
Number 20, Cursed Hoyd. And of course, number 0, Queen Emily with her sword and tiara.
Amazing.
Yeah. I am conflicted on Series 2 because now we are at 21 pins, which means there are more of them than Series 1. And so I'm glad I didn't preemptively buy the same size of display because I'm going to have to get a bigger one.
There's this guy too.
TSA loved him.
TSA loved this guy.
By the way, this thing is heavy. It is legitimately heavy. And so there were some great photos at airport. Just airport security. Just was like, what is this? What is this? He's so cute. And
perfect size for hats.
He will be back also, in the background.
Full of drugs.
Yes, yeah. That's what the weight's for. Nexus is actually just a big money laundering
Look,
operation.
you go to registration, you pick up your badge, you pick up your 2 story deck,
Yeah.
booster packs,
then
and
get
you
the
pick up
drugs in
your
chull.
your chull full of drugs. Yeah.
You exchange the cards for drugs. We're gonna get demonetized.
I just need a full set, man.
Oh no.
I need it. I truly need it.
Yeah. I think one thing I would say with Nexus is there were not enough panels, and so the panels were really packed because everyone was trying to get stamps, and so it made it feel really crowded. And so, like, if you had a few more like lanes where like people could go for panels, there were like 3. That is not very many.
There were 3 on day 1.
Oh,
and
no, there was
4
a 4.
on days 2 and 3.
Lumar opened up.
It just felt like there was not that much selection, and I feel like there easily could have been that, like, and just spread people out because it just felt really cramped. Also, 7,500 people, a lot. I know it was like, oh, the tickets went out so fast. 7,500 people, that's not so many. And then you're there, and then it's like, oh,
It's a lot.
oh no, like 3 times that amount have listened to Wind and Truth Reactions 1, and that is weird after seeing how many people were at the con. Yeah.
I also have
Um,
show and tell.
You do have show and tell.
Oh yeah.
I do have show and tell.
Oh.
One of the
Ooh.
Lightweaver ornaments
Oh,
that they
okay.
had this year.
That's pretty hot.
That's
actually.
a Skybreaker, actually.
Yeah, actually, that's a Skybreaker ornament.
There's not a
It's-
Skybreaker
they-
foundation.
They had ornaments for the first 5 books that have come out, the glyphs of those orders, and then they had a Syl one, the design of which was
Cute.
based on the Brotherwise mini.
Cute.
Nice. I love
Nice. Any other
I
I have
show and tell?
too.
Yeah. This is the time. We're
that. Yeah,
We're just
show us your
spitballing.
tell.
yeah.
So, this came with my PJs. I also got the Truth Watcher PJs, and this is a sticker for the holidays.
Angle it
It's
back a
not
little
very
bit.
easy to see here.
Bring it back a little bit. It's not focusing. Yeah.
It's the sweater art.
A little further back. It'll focus eventually.
Oh,
There we
it's
go.
getting there. It's getting there.
Okay. Kind of. Yeah.
You can see the art in the Fanworks channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Very cute art.
I love it a lot. I did. So I was hanging out with Marie in the bar one of the nights, and she had her tablet with her because why not?
Okay.
And so I was just like, she was showing me art, and we got to this one, and I just spent a full like 5 minutes just zooming in on all of the detail and on all of the sweatshirts because there's so many little things and they all look so good, and I love them.
Oh, that was the other problem with the ball, is that I didn't have enough time to drink with people at the bar. That was the problem.
Also true.
Not
Yeah.
enough bar con. That was a problem.
I wasn't aware that bars would like give you free soda and you didn't have to like pay for it because it's non-alcoholic, and so I was like, I get free soda. Hi, I'm 21 and this was my first time in a bar.
Usually you do pay for the soda. You get
Yeah.
water.
They
for
gave me
free.
free soda, man.
Okay, all right.
Well,
I was there.
Is that
can
not
attest to it.
normal?
I mean, I
You
don't
usually
know.
pay a little bit for the fountain soda, yeah.
Okay,
Having
this
done
is
that
good
many
to
times.
know.
Yeah, but like you'll get water for free. Yeah, for sure. In America, at least. I don't know.
And my
Yep.
my last kind of bits of show and tell.
Yeah.
I have one more.
Oh, hi.
Whoops.
Very nice.
Sorry, hold up, I got
Hello.
distracted by the art.
Yeah, that's fair. Ooh. Hello.
Which and just in case you forgot,
Shalane is also distracted by the art.
Yes, yes, she is.
in case you forgot, I got these two.
Yeah.
And I wanted to show you that and I'm not gonna be able to, but you're gonna have to imagine. This came in a little baggie with a little heart sticker that says for Evgeni.
Wow.
Oh,
These were printed and signed specifically for me.
Well, you
for me
are
to
the
admire.
art master on this channel, so
And not by Marie. I got this Evie, which I'm very fond of.
Evie. Interesting.
gorgeous.
I didn't recognize her because she's not on fire.
That is fair.
No Wind
Yeah,
and Truth
that's
spoilers, but yeah.
Oh, can I show off my this?
No,
Okay,
let's
with
not do
showing
that.
this?
Let's not do that.
Okay, cool.
Let's not do that.
Cool.
You'll never know what we're talking about until maybe later. I don't know. But
I also
Here.
wear clothes.
yes.
I have a distraction show and tell. It's a tiny Yumi.
It's
Woohoo.
a tiny.
Okay,
it's
that's-
also a tiny painter.
That's
Yes.
pretty cute.
Someone gave me a tiny Yumi and Painter book
Pretty cute.
that
Oh, that's awesome.
has
Yeah.
nothing in it, but it's
Yeah.
cute.
Cool, guys. Any final thoughts on State of the Sanderson or Nexus 2024?
I am afraid that I will have to commit to future World Hopper balls now.
Yep. Yep. I
Yep.
think that's probably the. I mean, I don't know how good the moment zero one is gonna. I don't know how
I
they're gonna
mean,
theme that one. Is what I'm saying.
I don't know what they're gonna do.
But
I don't even know if they're gonna try and make it non-Cosmere. Like they may fully give up.
it is.
There's
called
been
the
plenty
World
of
Hopper
times that like
Ball.
previous non-Cosmere years that they've just like not had that much non-Cosmere. They know people are there for the Cosmere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other thoughts?
It was cool. See you there next year.
Hey, I should be there. But
Yep.
it is getting expensive.
You
I
will
do
not see
want
me
to
next year.
Hey.
I do want to emphasize, if you are ever wondering whether you should like approach us and say hi or something like that, almost always the answer is yes.
If
Right.
we are walking extremely fast to get to a thing, no. Any other situation is fine.
Like
if we're
use-
walking very focused, like you can shout out and say hi. We'll try and say hi
Hey,
as we're
hey,
walking
how's
away.
it going? Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
yeah, if we're just standing around, like,
Oh my god.
say hi.
Yes. Everyone
We'll
was-
let you know if we can have a long conversation
Yeah.
or not when that happens. But always, the option is always engage, and then we
Yeah.
will control how long the conversation is.
We're all awkward nerds here. We can be awkward nerds together. It was so lovely to see everyone. And yeah, I honestly just wish I had more time to chat with you all. This is really great. So many. Definitely, I got recognized a lot. So that was always a weird experience.
It's like there were a handful of people I had met 2 years ago at the last one I was at that I was like, hey, I recognize you. I remember your name.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But yeah, it's just all the time. But there were lots of people like, hey, love the podcast, and then they just walked away. I'm like, hey, that's cool. Great.
Yeah. Well, other people have stuff to do as well.
They absolutely do.
I didn't show you guys my balls. I have Christmas balls.
Well,
And
not
some
the
of
green
them are
ones.
green.
They're gone. They've been eaten.
Just vac.
They're the story deck, actually. I wasn't aware the story deck was on sale, Evgeni. How did you get story deck ornaments?
I'm missing some. This is 49. This is 50.
You have to break open the ornaments to get the cards. The words. One word per ornament. $3
no.
each, please. No.
No.
That will not happen.
I hate it.
Cool. Well, let's wrap this up. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for the few super chats, everyone. That's so kind.
Were they all Everett Winter?
They were all from the same person.
Wasn't one not from Everett? I thought one
Oh,
wasn't from
maybe.
Everett.
But
I don't
Oh,
remember
one of
who.
them was from Alex. Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much.
Thank all of you.
And you can find us on 70shard.com for all your news, discussion, theories, and fun that you could ever want. The Discord is extremely busy. If you want to talk about Wind and Truth spoilers, good luck.
Let me tell you, we have like 20,000 people in the server, and like 5,000 of them are online at every single moment in time.
And it feels
and
like they're all in that channel.
5,000 are in the Wind and Truth spoilers.
Yeah. So I mean, but it's very exciting. Is all I'm saying. That it's It's never a dull time in the Wind and Truth channels. But you can come chat with us. You can find us on some social medias, Blue Sky eventually. We'll figure it out. I will say, Wind and Truth Reactions 2 is premiering this Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. It's scheduled. There was a lot of fun with the Wind and Truth Reactions 1, and Wind and Truth Reactions 2 is even longer. Hey!
I walked out of that episode at one point, but you're gonna have to tune in and find out why.
I haven't seen it, guys. I don't even know.
I have forgotten this.
Yeah, it's
That's
4.5
because
hours.
we recorded for 7 hours.
No. It edited down to 4.5 hours. So it'll be a lot of fun.
It was like 5.
It's 5-ish.
6.
It's 5-ish. But you had scheduled nonsense. You see, we got through to this State of the Sanderson in about the same amount of time as we prep for a normal Shardcast. Like, we get on and then we chat for an hour, and this we gotta read the thing. We gotta get prepped. So thank you all for coming. And yeah, you can support our Patreon for as little as $1 a month. There is going to be a lot of Wind and Truth art coming. What's up, Artmaster?
$1.
I also like how that's facing. That's very good. I don't think that's a real dollar without that there, actually.
Look, it's mostly $1. It's like 98 cents.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they'll accept that. They might have to if there's a tear, honestly. I think
yes.
they do.
Oh, my wallet fell. Art. We are halfway through a piece of. Well, you don't know what it is because it's the November piece where everyone voted for a mystery Wind and Truth Commission. And the Mystery Commission, you don't know what the Mystery Commission is.
And is that going to be the thumbnail for the thing later this month, or is it something else?
No, that's a different.
Oh, okay. There's a thumbnail coming too.
There's also a thumbnail coming.
I need a thumbnail. Evgeni, commission me
the
a thumbnail.
thumbnail is in development.
Yeah, well,
There are probably multiple thumbnails coming, even.
Yes.
Wow.
One more thing that I forgot to talk about.
Yes.
Sorry, Eric, for derailing this outro.
I'm not putting
but
in
it was
chapters
really
in this.
nice.
Yeah.
Really nice talking to people about Diceborn.
Yeah.
Lots of Diceborns in the house. And after a certain point, when I thought of doing this, I did start showing off Royce's season 2 art.
Ooh,
So
it is
some
really
people
good. It is really
got
good.
to see Hot Boy Royce looking very disheveled. So yeah, I'm excited for that to come out this coming calendar year because it's coming out in 2025.
It is absolutely coming out in 2025 for sure. It's all recorded. It's gonna happen. So that will be a thing. It will not use the Cosmere RPG system because we've been recording it for forever. So you'll have to wait for Cosmere RPG things a long time from now, and we are going to record things that are not as long as that, maybe. But you'll see. Anyway, see you all hopefully Sunday if you finish the book, at least. It seems like a lot of people have. A lot of people looking at Wind and Truth Reactions 1. But yeah, we'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Ta-ta.
Goodbye. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
That's not what you say. There you go.
Caw.